If we're filming it out, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Okay, is it going on my feed? Oh, welcome to Chick Chat Comedy Podcast. I am Patty Rossborough. I am here with my lovely, delightful co-host, Ms. Carrie Carabas.
How are you, Patty?
Looking stunning today. We are here live at
the
comic strip in NYC. Adam Hineker as our producer. And we have two fantastic guests. First of all, someone I've known for a million years. And you've also known for a million years.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to say her name
We're
wrong.
a million years old.
Judy
I can't say my name.
Cianciotto.
Cianciotto.
It's a variation, but you're very
You say it.
Well, you changed it a couple of times.
Cianciotto or Cianciotto?
It
Chinchilla.
can be Chan or Chian. It's
Chinchilla.
But then you screw us up even more because now you get your husband's last name tacked on the end. Nissan, right?
Nissan.
Nissan.
Hate you right
Nissan.
now. It's Nissan, like pissin.
Listen.
Oh, that's much better
He's
than
not
Nissan.
Japanese.
Well, no, it would be nice if it was Nissan and she actually owned the dealership.
That would be good. And we have another lovely guest who I heard on Ms. Rulev's Company and your friend of Brian Murphy's. And we have... Oh,
McCarthy.
McCarthy? Oh,
Yes.
my God. I
You
can't
big
get any names
you
right.
really
You got
can't.
50% of it right.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Yes.
Mick,
No,
she
you're
got the
doing
Mick part right.
Fox Danger is her name.
Hello.
Any relation to Carlos?
I have not yet met Carlos yet. I hear he's a distant relative, though.
He is actually going to jail, I think, today.
Oh,
Nice.
Yes, he's doing his
Danger.
time, Carlos Danger. So good, he's in and he's away.
All
So
right.
what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about stripping because right here in front
my
of you
God.
people, we have three former strippers. Unless Judy's still stripping. Are you still stripping?
Of course.
You are.
No, just
Judy stripped until
my
like 2 years
husband
ago.
had
I saw you with stripper shoes in your car. You had to
They're
have been
so
still
comfortable.
From
stripping.
the one-woman show, I still have.
Oh yeah, I
have all
wink,
the-
wink. Okay, and then we're gonna
like, who's that woman up there? How old is she? But her tits look good.
yeah, you do have good tits. And then we're gonna talk about polyamorous relationships because Fox is a what are you? You're a polyamorous?
What the fuck does that mean?
We're gonna
Patty?
she's
What
gonna
the fuck?
she's gonna
We're gonna-
explain
we're
it to
gonna-
me.
English.
Dive into it. It's like I say polyamorous, but me and my partner both are like, we hate saying it, so we say philanderers. We're philanderers.
Philanderers or swingers. Would you call it swingers?
No, swingers are very different.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to get into that.
Yes.
But first,
Wow.
Carrie Carabas is coming here hot off the heels, is that how you say it? Of a major coup at the, what's the name of the place you just worked at?
Oh, my God, Patty.
Patty!
Westbury. The
Westbury
Westbury.
Music Fair. I am so
It's
senile.
now called the
call it something else?
NYCB Theater.
NYCB
No more
Theater?
Westbury? Oh,
It's
that's
not
sad.
called
That's
Westbury
stupid.
Music Fair. I
Yeah,
don't know
it
why
is
they changed. It
stupid.
might have been legal things, like Prince had to go as formerly known as. It might be something like that we don't know about.
So it was a very successful
Maybe because
show.
they don't do music anymore.
It was a breast cancer benefit, which I've done a lot this month of October because it's obviously breast cancer
I did not know that.
awareness. Yes, and
Did
I
you
think
get your breast checked?
Actually, it's time. My year thing is time.
You get them every year?
every year.
I had my first one done last year for the first time ever. It's kind of terrible.
I've never had one. I've been told to get them. I've gotten letters about them.
You need to go.
And we all have real tits. We're all,
At this point,
do
she's
we all?
90. Does she really need to fucking
she upped the ante. I said 80 years. You know, we're 90.
When I got my tits checked out, she goes, and she kept like squeezing it in and putting it in that thing, and she goes, "What's going on?" And she goes, "Okay." Then I get this phone call. You have to come back in, and I'm like,
no.
"Oh no!" And she goes, "There's a black spot," and I'm like, "Oh my God!" And I'm laying on the table. I think I'm going to die, and I'm going through everything and what I'm going to give away, and I never finished my
My
book.
God.
I'm gonna
And I
give
never
away.
made it in comedy, and I'm a failure, and my kids are going to have no money. And then they're like, it was just a fold in your skin, and it's fine.
Ew.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I know.
fold
It's my
in
own
your skin.
touching. I feel it. So
Yeah, but you know, it's so important to get it done because if you get it, anything you get, and you catch it early
Nip
enough,
it in the bud.
you'll live forever.
how
I
many women
have
been
seriously
saved. Yeah.
4 friends that have had breast cancer years
Really?
and years.
Yeah, yeah.
One friend was completely flat chested. So if you think because you're flat chested that you're not going to get breast cancer because you have no breast, it's not true.
It's
She
in
was
there.
completely
Oh, yeah.
flat-chested, and she had to get a full mastectomy.
2 of my cousins got them in their 40s, and they're now in their 70s, and they're doing fantastic.
Oh,
Right,
My
so-
mom,
Really?
my mom had it, and she's been in remission for 20 years.
She
It's
had
great.
breast cancer?
Yeah, she had breast cancer.
Did they take her breasts off?
No, she just did a lot of chemo, and
Oh, the
Okay,
chemo is
yeah.
so horrible.
but she's doing
Way to
great
go.
now. So
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
so you got to get your boobs checked. I know women that don't get their boob checks. They never go to the gynecologist. It's completely insane to do that when
That-
you could just go and get
And
checked.
when I leave here, I'm not going to get my boobs.
Why won't you get your boobs
'Cause I
checked?
check them myself. I lay down. I do the
You
feel
can't
of the
feel-
lumps and everything.
By the time, this is what they say, by the time you feel the bump,
It's over.
you're going to
I
die.
swear to God, anything happens, I'm coming to your house.
Please
I'm
don't.
dying at your house.
She's gonna haunt
the
you.
nurse
Please-
bed right in your living room.
Please do not die in my living room. No, you got to get because they have
God forbid.
machines that like look up little.
It's a very serious disease. It's
I know it
horrible.
is.
Anyway,
lost so
we
many
did the
people.
breast cancer benefit there.
And you
It was a
killed
great
it.
turnout. It was a great turnout. We had a great lineup.
Yes.
We had like so many comedians on the show that were like superstars anyway, whatever.
And we weren't there, Patty.
No, we weren't. There.
And I was the first woman for the breast cancer benefit. Go figure. First woman on that stage.
Shameful. They
What?
should have had women up before that. And also, why are you
Wait
going
a minute,
on
this
first?
is their 15th year? 16th year?
They've never had a woman in 15 years.
No.
Shut up.
That is so.
That's
that is
ins-
so not shocking.
How can you-
That is
exactly,
so
how
not
can you
shocking.
not say-
Here's the other thing
Go
that bothers
figures.
me about it. Carrie Carambas is like the funniest person in the world. Did you see the tape? Kill,
Yes.
kill, kill.
Yeah.
She went on first. Carrie Carambas is a headliner.
I know.
But it doesn't matter because it's a headlining show, right? So if you got all people
All
who
right.
close shows,
Sure.
let me
You
just
know
On
what I
the
mean?
inside, come on.
Okay, let me just say this really quick. When we all started headlining, and you know how guys hate when we headline, I go to Philadelphia, 5 headliners want to go up before me and ask the owner. So 5 headliners want to do a set. I have 5 headliners going on before I can headline because they're so pissed off that I'm headlining.
Really?
Yeah, in Philly. I won't mention whose name books it.
mention it.
Go ahead. Who gives a shit? They're not listening.
Andy Scarpati.
Oh, God.
Fuck Angie Scarpati.
Okay.
Fuck Andy is right. He really pissed me off the last time I was there.
Who cares?
Angie Scarpati.
I do love
Anyway,
him, though.
But
it
you
was-
killed.
I come out, and it was such. You know what? I've done a lot of theaters, and when you hit it and they roar, it feels amazing. But there's something with the theater in the round where you're literally right on them, like
Yeah.
they're right in front of you, and you're walking around this stage, but they weren't behind me because the whole thing was we roped off the part that we weren't, and it was just this intense wow.
Yeah.
And then you get off and you're like, wow, that was great. And people, of course, but look at my asshole after that. People want to
That's what
take
we
a
all
picture
want.
with me, and it was fine. And my sister gets there. I go to her. She goes, I'll be there at 8:30. I go, the show starts at 8, and I'm up second.
Oh, no. Did she
Wait.
miss you? Oh.
All right. So what time do you have to be there? I go, 8:00. She shows up at 8:30.
You were done.
I go, what do you? She goes, I missed you. I go, I fucking told
Are you kidding me?
But
Did
she
your
had to go-
husband see you?
No, he didn't want to go.
She's seen it.
He's had shoulder surgery.
Oh, but so he can sit there. He
and
doesn't
I
have to move
opened
his
with
shoulders.
that. I opened with that.
What's your shoulder surgery
I
joke?
said, you know what? I told you once. I told you 1,000 times. Stop playing with yourself. You're going to injure yourself. But
Being married to
yeah,
my
it went.
sister,
It
it's gonna be that
worked.
way.
So whatever. Anyway, that and Halloween was the week. The
Oh,
whole
when you're a
week
mother,
thing.
you know what? We put the candy in a bowl outside the
Yeah,
door.
but one kid comes.
Oh, that's chaos.
The
Take
fat
it,
kid
take it.
comes.
Oh, you help yourself?
Help
Yeah,
yourself.
take one. Right. Listen to
we
what
don't
I
have a
did.
doorbell. That's why.
Last year, the fat kid came, took all the candy in one shot, and then this year I wrote, I had a little
Exactly.
spooky monster on there, like one of those nasty things, and I wrote, take only one. We're watching you. Look up, and I have a camera right there. So one
my
kid, I guess,
God.
got so scared that he threw his mask off and left it there and ran.
That's because
I
moms
like that you
are so busy.
I like that you threaten your
I
trick
do.
or
I threatened the
treaters.
trick. But this year we didn't have a lot. But
We
then
didn't have a lot
We
either.
went to another neighborhood where the people. I did a live from there. They actually turned their house into a haunted house, and there was a line, from
Yeah.
7 to 10. These fucking people, very creepy. turned their house into a haunted house.
And there's neighborhoods that have specifically when you go in Hoboken,
in Brooklyn,
10 blocks.
In Brooklyn, I used to love when my kids were little.
Oh, yeah.
I where was it? Down in I don't even
Knickerbocker
remember.
Avenue.
Can't remember the name of the road. Like Third
Mulberry?
Avenue.
No,
It's
that's
like
in New York City.
anyway. And one house after the other, and they would do Halloween. They would do Christmas. They
Right.
would, and they were all in competition with each other, and it was
Listen to
so
me.
like
Aw.
I was like a kid. It's so magical. I'm like, oh, I love this. But anyway.
Well, there's a block in Bethpage that actually has a Zeppeli truck, has a sausage and pepper truck. I'm not making it
I'm
up.
so hungry. Zeppeli. Oh my God, Zeppelis.
For a week they do this.
Sausages.
They have a
Right.
band. They have a band on Friday and Saturday night of
Zeppels.
Halloween.
Yes.
Right, and the band comes out and plays. But the whole neighborhood's in cahoots. The whole block is done. It's pretty cool, actually.
Wow.
Wow, this is
Okay,
getting boring.
I know. I was going to say, time to change the subject. All right, let's get to the stripping. All right. First of all, let's start okay. I've already told my stripper story, and I don't even have an
What is your
exciting
stripper story? What is
I just did strippergrams. You
I didn't
remember
know that.
Yeah, I used to do
You
strippergrams.
didn't tell me that.
I know. I never told anybody because I
Wow,
thought
you
like
really hid it.
maybe I was Catholic. Like, what are they going to think of me? I did strippergrams, but I'd wear the bra and the thing, and
Oh my God,
I would
you
do the
slut.
offices.
Oh, yeah.
And then I almost got killed once. And then guys always wanted me to give them blowjobs. And,
Yeah, of
like
course.
they'd bring you in. You'd go in and you'd think, oh, it's an office. They go, it's an office party. You go in. And there's no office party, and it's two guys in a room as big as a closet, and they're like, will you blow me? And I'm like, no, I don't want to blow you. And they're like, oh, okay, then bye. And they give me the money, and I go, well, you don't want the strip? They go, no, we just want to get
We want you
blown."
to go.
Yeah. So
Why
then-
don't they just call an escort? I
Yeah.
guess back then
Exactly.
they didn't have
And
it.
they didn't
like
have
now.
stuff like that.
Now they have it.
And
Now they
also,
have it.
maybe it was the excitement of getting this young girl to, they're so fucking sick, all of these
Well,
men.
I
Anyway.
I actually did some massage work, not because it took me from go-go. I loved, when I was 18, 19, I used to go for massages because I was a professional dancer. So I started doing it myself. I got certified, but I went, this is killing my hands. But I went to Jack LaLanne just to get some side work because we're always trying to get side work if we're on the road.
What do you do at Jack LaLanne's?
They had
Oh, as a
clothes.
massage.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
guy walks in, takes off his towel. He goes, "You're gonna fuck me, and I'm only
What?
giving you $100." I said, "It's Jack LaLanne." I said, "Get the fuck out."
Wow.
You
And
want-
how dare you? I'm worth at least 250.
If I'm gonna
1,000.
fuck you, it's $250.
Yeah.
But you know what? I was able to get away with the go-go dancing because in those days.
Is that what they called it back then?
Yeah, it's still go-go dancing in Jersey. Go-go dancing. It's like I was saying to her.
Go-go is no nipples.
No,
You
it's
got,
nipples.
You got
It's
pasties you
got
gotta
the
do
thing
for a
you
go-go.
swing
Yeah,
around.
the tassels.
And I used to say on stage, one of my jokes would be, I'd see the girl swinging it around like 1,000 miles an hour, and I'd be like, if that would me, I'd be like, because I can't go
Yeah.
around on my own because I'm not big-breasted. But when I went there, it was such a front to do. I mean, it wasn't a front to be a comedian, but I would come home late, and Bob would be like, "Where did you go?"
Wait, you
I-
were married
I-
when you first started being
no,
a
Bob
stripper?
didn't know for 3 years. I'd come home and he had no idea. That's
But
a
all
whole
these
nother-
singles.
That's a whole other podcast show. But
That's how they paid me at the comic strip, in singles, okay?
So when I
Back off. I'm paying the rent, you
he
motherfucker.
didn't see the singles. I got my 20s. But I would be at the comedy. I'd come home. I'd go to the
Oh.
improv. But I was at Rascals. I was at all the, how
so
many
you'd
Jersey
go.
clubs there were we used to go to. And I'd go to the go-go bars right after doing my comedy. I was
And he
smitten.
didn't come. What? You had no glitter on your
Had
tits
no
or
idea.
anything?
No, he had no
My-
idea. I came
And
home.
she was breaking the coin in.
Yeah, my
Well,
husband
we
didn't
didn't
know
take
for
a
the
shower.
first
I
year
didn't
of
touch
dating.
anybody.
Wait, your husband didn't know when you were dating him that you
For
were.
the first like year and a half. He
Yeah,
didn't
3
know.
years it took my
yeah.
husband to
Why
find
don't?
out.
Yeah, and why
And
didn't
then
you tell him? You thought.
I was just like, I don't know if this is gonna last. So is it worth it? And then
Did you think
finally,
he would like run away?
Well, he's like a Midwest guy. He didn't,
Oh.
And then I finally told him, and he was like, "I'm not comfortable with this," and I was like, "It doesn't matter." And
Why don't you just
Wait,
enjoy
he
it?
wasn't comfortable.
he
with
wasn't comfortable with it, and I was like, and then I came home that night, and he goes, "How'd you do?" And I said, "I made $500." He goes, "All
I'm
of a
so
sudden, I'm very
comfortable
comfortable
with
with this." Like,
Okay, you want to know how Bob
Wow.
found out that I
you
do
know-
go-go dancing?
I never liked, I would never strip because I hated men when I was younger.
What does that mean? You hated men?
so did I, actually.
still hated them. I'm like, I
I
hated
was a
men.
tomboy. I used to beat them up.
I just hated them. I thought they were all pigs, and I wouldn't give them the satisfaction. That's
But why were men like horrible to you?
No,
yes.
you had great-
Well, you're
you
very
had a great
sexy,
brother, you
so
have a
I'm
great
sure you had
father.
guys
What-
like
what-
always hitting on
happened
you.
now?
Yeah, it's like they all cheat on you when you're young. Because
yeah, yeah.
boys at that age,
How
they're
many
They're
always
horrible.
women
cheat.
we'd
So
break up with.
you end up
Yeah.
building like a thick skin and hating their guts. You're like, ugh, they're all pigs. They're all so. I never dated a married guy. I never dated a, a guy with a girlfriend. I never wanted that guy.
Yeah.
And
I
she,
never-
and she
I
was
wouldn't
true
even
like
get-
that. My brother wanted to date her, and she said, "Judy, I can't date somebody who's somebody's brother." And she really kept true to that.
What does that have to do with your brother?
But I
Why-
mean,
I just
she's
didn't
saying-
like him, and I. gave
Oh,
him-
that too.
didn't
But she's
say
saying
your
she doesn't
face.
marry somebody she doesn't go out with somebody that was married. She doesn't get too close.
No,
to the
I don't
comfort.
like married men. One married guy put his hand on my knee at a wedding, and I outed him right at the table. I go, "Do you want to get your hand off my knee?" And he goes, "Is that your knee?"
I have to say something to my brother. My brother Larry, she did like you. Don't worry. But
Is
you know how
Larry
Bob
listening?
Do you know how Bob found out about
How?
me go-go
Oh,
dancing?
no.
I got arrested.
Call it
You
stripping.
got arrested.
Oh.
Yeah, she got too friendly with the customers.
No, is that
It was
true?
a bachelor party, and I'm downstairs doing my go-go bar, and the owner, and I'm young, and I'm.
Are you naked for your go-go bar
No,
downstairs?
I'm go-go dancing. So she comes up to me, says, "Judy, there's a 3 bachelor parties. Says, go up, you'll make a lot." I said, "No, but I don't take anything over." He said, "Just go, you'll make money. Just dance. There's 20 girls up there. It's called a I forgot what they call it. There's like 20 girls on stage. So I thought, oh, this is fun. So I'm up there dancing. And then all of a sudden I see a girl sitting on some guy's lap, and he's sucking her tits. And I'm like, oh my God, this is not good. And then
Wow, that's a weird form of
and then all of a
dancing.
sudden they were just throwing dollars on
So
the stage,
weird.
and I thought, you know what? Let her have her tits suck, just so we get my money.
What kind of dance is that? The
That was-
Macarena?
But this is when the lap dancing started, because they had no lap dancing. So all of a sudden,
what year was this?
the music
1936.
stops. Oh my God, 25, 26 years ago. The music stops and they go, "Nobody move, you're all under arrest."
No.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. The guy grabs, the cop grabs. I said, "I didn't do anything." I said, "And you saw?" I said, "You saw. I didn't take anything off." He goes, "Doesn't matter. That girl over there." I said, "But I'm just dancing. I'm just go-go dancing." Anyway, so long story short, this is how they took us down to the station. The girls were crying, screaming, and the cop says to me,
How old were you?
28, 29. The cop says to me, he goes, "You're not like those girls." I said, "Yeah, I am. I'm just that drunk. They were so drunk." So this is how Bob found out. This is our conversation. I went, "Bob, hi, honey. Listen, remember when I told you I'd go and dance sometimes, like at the place Starbucks in New York City, and I'd dance on a box?" And he goes, "Yeah." I said, "Well, it was in Jersey, and it was a go-go bar, and they raided the place. I'm in jail." And
Can you come get me?
Don't
Get
ask
the
questions.
singles out
Just
of my
come get
bottom
me.
drawer.
he goes like this. He goes, "Oh, honey, that's terrible." And I said, "What?" I said, "You're not mad?" He goes, "No, that's terrible." I goes, "I didn't know what exactly you were doing, but that's." I said, "Bobby,
I didn't know you were a prostitute. That's horrible.
I said, I didn't. I swore to him. I said I didn't do anything, but I knew after I hung up that phone, because he made me feel so good about myself as a woman. He didn't shame me. He didn't make me feel like a piece of shit.
But he wasn't like, what?
Well,
you
he
lied
loves
to me.
her.
You never told
Never-
me.
He
You
loves her.
Are you warm?
Never-
Now I'm chilling.
never
I'm
brought it up to
sweating
me.
to
So
death.
at that moment,
So,
I said
like,
to
I'll go
myself,
through.
"This is the man I'm going to fucking marry."
Adam, what would you do if your girl got busted for go-go dancing? Would you still date her?
My current one?
Yeah,
Yeah, your
why?
girl-
What,
the one you
the
how
one
many
you're
do
in
you
love
have?
with. Come
Oh,
on.
Adam, you would not give up your girlfriend if she go-go danced.
No, I would.
What would you be?
I would wonder why she didn't tell me first.
But
I would've
then,
been fine with it.
but you would be okay if she's giving lap dances and sitting on guys.
Well, that we
Rubbing
didn't
her
do that
tits
then.
in
We
their
didn't do
face.
that then.
Part-time or full-time?
What does that
Wow.
even mean?
Part-time. It was-
Part-time, okay.
I did it late at night after my
Couple
comedy
times a week.
shows.
I always found it weird how those porn stars were like, "Oh, that's my wife. She's just going to work."
I know they don't care. Well,
What does that fucking
it's a
mean?
job.
I would.
Yeah, it's
No, it's not
now
a
let
job.
me ask Fox.
It's
I gotta
disgusting.
ask Fox. Ever arrested?
No.
And did you ever have one of those things where you thought, "Oh my God, I'm going to get killed"? Because I did a bachelor party and I
Well,
thought,
where do you
I'm
strip?
going to get killed.
I
She's
used to
burlesque.
strip. I used to strip. Now I do burlesque stuff.
Which is
but I used to
amazing now.
strip in like Baltimore, D.C.,
Where
Pennsylvania.
Crazy John's? No.
What's crazy?
Carrie's
what's
in-
crazy John?
Baltimore.
Carrie's
no,
telling us
Hustler.
something.
Yeah, Carrie. What do you?
No, I know people that owned this place in Baltimore, and it was a strip club.
Really?
I don't know what it was called. I don't remember.
So, and did you ever have a time where you were like doing did you do bachelor parties or you just?
Occasionally, yeah.
And were you ever afraid for your life? Like they'd like say, "Take your clothes off and do this for me," and blah blah. That's what they did to me, and I ran away.
Yeah, no. Those, I mean, I used to do it. I did a few bachelor parties, but
Some
like
are upscale, some are not.
I stopped doing those because I was just like I basically, there was one time, the time that I was like, I'm done with this. This guy was like, go down on the other girl that's here. And I was like, no. And they were like,
God.
but do it anyways. And I was like,
I'm not sucking your
no.
tits.
And
right.
then like I started putting on my clothes, and like the guy who came with us was like, for security, was like, come on, just fucking do it.
Oh my God.
And I was like, yeah, I'm walking distance from my apartment, so I'm just gonna.
Yeah, the
I'm just
security
gonna
guy
cardio
was
You
no
know
help.
how many girls get
Yeah.
raped?
Security's
killed?
guy's like, can
Yeah.
you do me too?
Yeah, right.
No,
I'm like,
a lot of girls.
I thought that time that I could have gotten raped that night because I wasn't doing what they said. They were like, take your clothes off, get out there.
You put yourself in very
There's
dangerous
so-
situations because actually when I first started doing this is when the last year I was doing it, they started lap dancing and you couldn't touch anybody. And I remember being back in a booth and I went, what am I doing back here? And I remember this guy grabbing me and I said, stop. I said, and he wouldn't let me go. And I went,
that's scary.
And at one moment I went, no one can hear me. This
Why
is
can't they hear
and
you?
Snap me because the
'Cause
music
you're in
was
a
so
sound
loud.
booth.
So when he let me go, I said to the owner, I can't work here anymore, and I wouldn't go to places. And that's when I stopped dancing. Actually, that was
It's called the
Last year.
champagne room, isn't it?
no,
well,
10
it
years ago.
depends because like lap dances you can get like
Table
just
dances
table
you
dances
don't
are out on
touch,
the
right.
floor.
No, but there's a private back
There's
room.
champagne rooms.
Now
Yeah,
it's
there's champagne
unbelievable.
rooms,
Now it's
but
crazy.
like
Well, it's called.
Now
tell
it's too
us.
close for comfort.
Man.
I was
Manny.
awful at selling those because people would be like, "Oh, what do I get in the champagne room?" And I'm like, "The same thing that you get out here."
exactly.
Like, and
And
they'd
listen,
be like,
I'm not a Cinderella.
No, but a lot of girls will go.
Perfect,
A
but
lot of girls will go for the extra.
Yeah.
I'd say to
100.
the
yeah.
women, I would even say to the women that would go for the extra, I said, why don't you just be an escort?
"Yeah,
Why don't you just go out of the club? We're dancing. Why don't you go and do it? Because now they're expecting us, and I'm not doing that.
So wait, what are you saying? So when they go back there, some of the girls give blowjobs and hand jobs
Probably,
and does all that stuff.
probably.
Right, they probably
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
them too. For
I
it.
saw
Oh,
I
yeah,
saw that
that's
go
true.
down at there was a club in Boston I worked at, and I left after 3 weeks because like I looked over one time and I saw a girl just giving a handy on the floor, and I was like, when the cops come, I'm not going down for this.
Wow.
Okay, and let me just tell you another bachelor
He
party.
probably
really
was a
quick.
cop.
Now, this bachelor party was very sad because that's when I stopped doing certain places. And I said, this club I'll never come back to. They were having a bachelor party. This was before I ever got arrested. And I didn't know what went on. And this girl she was drunk, and they were making her do things. They were and I said, I ran over. I said, I dragged her away. I said, stop it. Leave her alone. And they're like going, what are you doing? I said, what do you mean? What, she's drunk and you're taking
What,
it?
you her mother?
Exactly. Well, they got her again. I went upstairs and I said, this has got
That's
to end. I go
terrible.
back downstairs and there they are around her. I went, stop it. Get away from them. They go, oh, God, Mom's here. Mom's here. And so I had to take her away.
You know what?
She was
I
drunk.
heard
They took advantage of her.
stories about bachelor parties where the girl shoots ping pong
Oh, yeah, yeah.
balls out of her crotch.
Really?
And then, they all go in.
that's
the,
a talent.
The groom bangs her, then the
That's
best
right.
man bangs her.
That's right.
That's
It's like a
talent if
big
you can-
gangbang. A lot of those
That's
things.
Yeah, and the
horrible.
girl gets paid.
My friend says her father
gang
told her
banging.
stories about when he was in World War II that they would hire a prostitute and they'd throw baloney against her ass, and there would be like games. It would be. It's so humiliating.
Oh.
It's like games, like whoever
Like
has
real
the
lunch
baloney
meat?
stick to her ass, then they bet whose money. Like it.
Well, that's the whole
Wait a
thing.
minute.
It's
Yeah,
so
why was
Real
her dad
lunch
telling
meat?
her these
Well,
stories?
that's the
Lunch
thing.
meat.
Like she said, she goes, "Why is
Who
my
brings the
father
mayonnaise?"
telling me?" Well, my father told me that he was the only one in the Marines who didn't get syphilis. So
that's
I don't know why
great.
our fathers are so inappropriate,
Oh, yeah.
but maybe that's why I was a stripper.
let me just say that's why it's about my show. What I do in the
Oh, yes,
show
yes.
is because I learned something.
Wait,
in
may
these
I just say the name of
clubs.
your show? War Dance. Okay.
And that is exactly what you said. I hated them. Like if they sniffed around, they were pigs, they were dogs. Now when I see a man who's sexually charged, I'm like, disability. I'm like, oh, like I feel them because I would meet men, fathers, and uncles, grandfathers,
Yeah.
doctors. I'm like, what are they all doing? I was like a counselor. Why are you here? What's
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on?
yeah, yeah.
One guy told me my wife hasn't fucked me for 10 years. I've gained 200 pounds. I said, go home and you tell her to suck your fucking dick or you divorce her. So I became like this
Yeah,
counselor.
but women don't want to fuck them anymore after a while. I can understand that.
Me too.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
but-
here's what I always say to my fiance. I go, I understand. Like those guys who have sister wives, the Mormons or whatever. I get it. I understand that, like, they want sex more than
that's
you
what
do
yeah,
sometimes.
So my point was the sex
depending on the
drive that I came to respect by doing this work was that they're primal. They're driven by
Yes.
sight and scent. I don't have to smell anybody's penis to get turned on. They because some guy bought my panties one night. He goes, Judy, I'll give you $100 for your panties. I'm like,
$100.
Yep.
for my panties. So I said, go ahead.
I'll
take it."
give him.
Now he didn't
Yeah.
just smell it, Carrie. He
Put it in his
snorted
face.
it like it was a line of fucking cocaine. And that's when I got it. I went, wow, this guy's. Because as women, we go to strip shows. You never see us going, oh, can I smell your boxer shorts?
Yeah.
Oh, can I smell your briefs? Can you climb on my face so I can smell your hairy, sweaty balls?
Yeah,
we
my-
don't do that.
My niche was always the people who got dragged to strip clubs who didn't want to be there because they'd their friends would be like, oh, let's get them a lap dance, it'll be funny, and I'd put on a show and be like, come on, we're gonna go have fun, and I'd sit them down and they'd be like, please don't do this, and I'd sit down next to them and I'd go, all right, so here's the rundown. We're just going to have a normal conversation for this whole lap dance, and you're going to go back and you're going to tell them how fucking phenomenal I am. And they would just be like, so what do you think about when you're on stage? And I'd be like, what homework I have due tomorrow? My grocery list.
It's an interview.
money,
now.
Yeah.
money that I'm making.
Yeah.
Because now, do you ever get did you girls ever find yourselves being attracted to guys you were doing the dances for?
Yeah, I
or,
dated a guy for a year.
You did date a guy?
In L.A. because Bob didn't want to get married. And I said to him, well, and I had just passed at the Comedy Store. I mean, I had a brilliant year when I went to L.A. And you came maybe the second year I was there, passed at the Comedy Store, got a Miller Lite commercial. And then I told Bob, you don't want to get married? I'm dating. So, I was at the strip club on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday doing my comedy. And the Comedy Store was phenomenal. You had 5 shows a week there.
Oh, yeah.
Mitzi put you everywhere when you were a regular.
Yeah.
So
She had a bunch of different rooms.
a bunch
Yeah,
of,
she had
and
the belly room.
If you were a regular, you went up to the belly room.
The
you
main
said,
room.
I'm a regular. And if it was a produced show, they had to put you on.
Oh, wow.
I got so developed in that place. But anyway, I would go to this club and I met a guy. We dated for a year. And I said to Bob, listen, I don't want to see you anymore. I was hanging up on him. And he goes, what's going on? I said, I don't want to see you anymore. I said, if you're not going to marry me. So he said, listen, calm down. We're going to get married. He goes, just set it up.
Maybe it's
I'll
what I
be
need to
there. And I set it up for us.
Yeah.
I set it up. I dumped the other guy.
Oh, you did?
I was
So were you
there.
just
I was
using
at the
the-
wedding. I did the makeup.
You
and
did?
That's right. Oh my God, Carrie did everything.
You did the makeup at Judy's wedding?
I did her makeup and her hair. And her
What,
hair.
any pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then who
Should've
else?
brought
I
my-
did a bunch of people's makeup that day.
You did my mother's makeup.
Yes.
She did She helped my father fell. Wedding.
Picked him up.
Carrie.
My dad would go, all right.
Was he drinking?
Finally, Judy's getting married.
Is he Italian? I guess he's Italian. Cianciotto.
Yeah, listen, I am so happy to be here.
Cianciotto.
You fabulous, funny ladies. I got my mother's little thing, because now that they're gone, you whole thing. Keep this. I got
What do you
this
mean her little thing?
My mom had this little thing where she put things for your ears, your
Q-tips?
Q-tips. I pulled out my thing. I said, I'm going to be on the chit chat, so I'm using two. What do you call them again?
Q-tips.
Let me see in a moment.
Nobody can think of words with us.
Q-tips. I'm using
Terrible.
Q-tips from 1975 in my mother's thing. I said, I have a special night tonight. Let me take a shower. But she was,
That's so cool. I
She's
didn't know
great.
that you
I'm
did her birthday.
everywhere, Patty.
Everywhere.
Wow.
I'm everywhere.
But she was in L.A. that second or third year. I was working at the Comedy Store, and you hated it there. I'll never forget. She was almost in tears.
Really?
We're at a club. I was doing a show. She came and did the show.
You
She
know,
goes,
Rick
"I
Messina
hate-"
wanted to manage me.
And-
Rick drives
and
me crazy.
I was Rick Dorfman's girl.
Oh, God.
He goes, you should be a star. I'm like, I should.
So if
And then, so he said, he goes, do you have a manager? And I was like, kinda, Rick Dorfman.
But Rick Messina's kind
did
of
he do anything for you?
Dorfman?
Yeah.
Well, I'm here, aren't I?
Rick Messina and I know each other since we're 22.
Why didn't he manage
He
you?
bartended
Well,
at
Camacho. He was
Right.
with Camacho. It was
Right,
Messina
and Camacho was
At
always trying to
Rainy
get my
Night House
pants.
or some Camacho.
Richie? Yeah.
Camacho got in everyone's pants. You know the story
Well,
about
let
him,
him,
right?
He didn't get my pants.
No, you get my pants either.
He didn't get in my pants either, but I know
He
some of his
tries.
pants he got into.
Oh,
Actually,
we
he would
can't
always
say
show
it,
everybody
though.
that tongue.
You have to
His
tell us
tongue.
after.
Oh, the tongue
after
was
the show.
gigantic. The biggest a cock.
Oh my God! I know who it is. You don't even have to tell me.
No, it's Tony Camacho.
But I know who the girl is.
Oh, don't
Wait,
say.
they said that
Say it.
Tony had the biggest
The
one?
biggest thing she ever saw in her life, and she said, I don't know what you're going to do with that, but you're not putting it in me.
Oh,
And she blew him, and she said it almost like dislocated her jaw.
Oh,
Who's the girl?
I can't tell.
Oh,
you.
Patty.
I know
Later.
who it is. I know
Come
who it is.
on.
I know who it
Later.
is.
Initial.
No.
Initial.
I can't because you'll know.
initial.
You know who it is. Don't even say. Don't say you can't say. It's not.
But anyway, should we talk about your marriage situation?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
I
this
am
is
so
interesting.
fascinated by Fox Danger. That may not be your real name, Fox Danger. Fox Danger's marriage and love life. Now, you have a husband.
I do.
And how long you been with him?
I've been with him for 11 years, married for 7. 7.
Nice. Do you have children?
No, absolutely not.
This time.
No,
doesn't
there's
want 'em.
not.
You don't want-
I have
okay.
2 dogs that I can barely take care of. So
So you are the one, because usually you think it's the guy who wants to branch out. You were the one who
Yeah.
wanted to branch out, but you didn't say it before you got married. You bring it up.
it was after. It was
After.
like 4 years after we got married, and I was like, we should do this. And he was like, no, we should.
Wait, branch out.
do
what?
to
Screw
what?
other people?
Yeah,
Yes.
like
Oh, but
date
it's
other
not
people.
swinging.
No.
Wait. Date?
What's the
and-
difference?
Swinging is when you're all fucking
Yeah,
like an orgy.
like
Oh.
we're doing this as a collaborative effort
That's
and
two couples
partner swapping.
together.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
All right.
Um,
Oh, that sounds good.
I
I know a couple of couples
But
that
you
their
do it on
husbands
your
like-
own.
Yeah,
You
we do
pick
it
your
separately.
Guy and he picks his. But do you like girls too, or you like just guys?
I'm sort of like
Anything
it sort of
goes.
depends on the
Fluid.
situation.
Oh, okay.
Depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so so now you'll meet a guy and you'll date him for like a year, and your husband.
No. My husband has had the same girlfriend for like 2 years. I've hung out with her.
Really?
This is the part I don't
she's
get.
great. She got me
She's
a birthday
okay with
present.
it?
Great.
Yeah, she
But
got
is
me a
she
birthday
okay?
present last year, and like I was like, I guess you didn't have to, but I haven't found guys who are willing. Like, it's not that I wouldn't want a long-term secondary partner, but like
Right.
most
Okay,
of the
but
guys.
doesn't that scare you that he might just dump you and then go off with her?
Oh, I threaten him all the time. I'm like, if you leave me, I'll rake you through the coals and leave you destitute. And he's
But
like,
does it scare you? Doesn't
I
have?
mean-
Isn't there an
Well,
underlining
when you're
of?
together, let me just ask you
yes,
something.
ask.
Do you allow each other all to be together, or do you allow him his time with her? And
Oh,
you
I allow
leave?
his time. Like he has one date night a week, and I have one date night a week, and
Really?
yeah.
Oh,
it-
so he only gets to see her one night.
I don't think I could handle it.
like once a
I
week.
couldn't handle it.
I know I couldn't either.
Like-
You must
I
not
don't know
be.
if it's
You're
how
not
we were brought up, but
an intrinsically jealous person. Then.
yeah, I would.
I
be-
mean, if I do get pangs of jealousy every once in a while, but I talk about it with him, and I'm like, I feel like this, and let's talk about it and explore why I'm feeling like this, and really just sort of process it. And we,
I would rip my husband's dick right off his body,
I want to stab him all the time.
and then
as
I would
is.
give it to
mean,
his girlfriend.
I would. Well, you're Greek, so but I'm.
I'd throw it in the sauce.
I'm extremely jealous. I couldn't handle
Me too.
thinking about him with his. I found out that he had gone to a strip club, and that bothered me so much because I'm picturing him feeling up a girl's tits at the strip club, and it made me lose all respect for him.
I think I would laugh watching my husband fuck another woman. I'd be like directing it.
I'm only thinking for the other girl. Like, how many girls can he actually disappoint in 1 week? You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I want to ask you now. So you're with your husband, and you're in love with your husband. Now
Yes.
you're allowed to have sex with someone else. What can he be in love with the other girlfriend, or he can't be in love with her?
He's with her
What's the
2
rule?
years. He's got to love her.
Well, we
yeah,
don't
like
know.
I think love and lust can be two totally separate things, and
Oh,
love
of
can be
course,
a
yes.
total spectrum.
But
like,
not after
It's
2
like a
years.
He's not.
high.
He's
It's
not
like a high
deep
and
in
then it just
love.
goes away.
Yeah,
I
but
don't think he's
2
deep in love. He
years.
just enjoys
2
being
years.
around her.
Well, that's like the guy I dated for a year before
Like,
I got married.
I
lusted
had
him.
a conversation at the year mark with her because I was like, we were outside and she was smoking, and I was like, so
Was she at your house? You mean?
she's been to our house before, but
Does
like
she sleep
Fucks
over?
her in that
no,
bed.
she doesn't. She doesn't.
She
She doesn't sleep
do it
over
in your house.
No,
Oh, okay, that's like a
No.
rule.
That's a rule.
You're very healthy people. This is
Yeah.
very healthy.
You think it's
so
healthy?
not fucking healthy,
No,
Judy.
no. It's
This
very
is fucking
mature.
crazy.
No, it's
very healthy.
No,
It's
don't
not.
say
I'm
it's
gonna tell
crazy.
you
You
why.
No,
can't-
it's not.
You know why I think so? Because they're able, as mature adults, to say and process what the natural
Well, like,
feeling
how
and
we-
desire is to be with another
Yeah.
person, but still love your mate.
No,
I think
you know what I
everybody
think?
has a
I
different
think
situation.
You have to have respect for the other. I could go around banging people. I just don't. I never did when I was dating guys.
Because we're brought up differently.
because
No,
you're-
because I
No,
don't
it's
do it
very
because
ingrained.
no. I'll tell you why I don't do it because it's a respect for the other human being, for the other person.
Okay,
But if
But
he
you're-
agreed to it, if your husband, if he said to you, he came home and
Then
said,
I'd be like, get out.
I know, but here's
But
the
you're
thing.
both not
No,
on the
maybe
same
you would
page.
not.
She likes the arrangement.
yes.
Fox
yeah.
likes
Exactly.
the arrangement, and Fox's husband likes the
If my
arrangement.
husband said it's okay for me to go fuck somebody else, I'd be like, get out.
But that's
Okay,
the
but
thing.
that's you.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not.
And
it's
we've
not
been
for
brought
everyone.
up with very conventional way. Like when I married my husband, he came to L.A. The boyfriend that I was dating called me and said, "Can we get together just to say goodbye?" And I said, "Well, I'm married. I just can't." And I said, "Oh, all right, let's just have coffee." And then we had coffee, and,
And
I
then
was
next thing you
And
know,
you
I'm
banged
blowing
him.
we were banging. So I said to Bob, I said,
Wait, you banged
so
him after
sorry,
you were
Bob.
married?
Yeah. So Bob, I said, Bob, we're on our way to dinner. I said, listen, I don't want to start off this marriage lying or cheating to each other. I have to let you know. The guy, I said, but it's your fault. I said, it's
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
So did
Let me
what
get
did
through
Fox
this.
say?
So Bob, I said to Bob, listen, I said, it's your fault this happened because you didn't want to get married. I dated you. I did what you wanted 18 years. I said,
18 years?
Yes. So I said, I met
See,
a man.
Patty, you have a shot.
I said,
I do have a
Maddie,
shot
I
still.
said, honey, I said, I did what you wanted. I did everything you wanted. I said, and I didn't fall in love with him. I fell in love with you, and I waited for you. And I'm going to cry because I did. I fell in love with him. I said, but this man was very good to me. And
He was
I
great
really
in the sack.
liked him in
He
bed.
ate my asshole.
Not as good as you. No, I don't like eating
He had
asshole.
a
but-
beautiful
but
dick.
I said,
Okay,
so
that is
let me just-
retarded.
Let me just quickly tell you. So we're in the car driving to dinner, and I said, "So Bob, I have to tell you, I went to say goodbye to him, and
I accidentally
I fucked him. I said,
fell
I
on
said
his
I
dick.
couldn't." So Bob turns to me, and again, not shaming me, not making me feel bad. He looked at me. He goes, "So," he goes, "now you have to break up with him." I went, "Yes," and that was that
Yeah.
maturity and respect that I'm talking about.
Okay,
I
she
I'm-
can't see it.
I can't.
No, and it's not for
That's
everyone.
okay. It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
And it wasn't for me either. I couldn't go back to that. I knew I had to tell Bob because I did it with him once, and I could see myself doing it again. I said, "No,
But here's
you got
Did you ever see The Money Pit?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, she goes to her ex-husband to get money from him, and she gets really drunk, passes out, and then in the morning she's like, "Oh my God, what am I doing?" It while Walter, her new husband or boyfriend, they bought out that piece of shit house. He was going somewhere to get, so he was away for the week, right?
Yeah.
And she went there. So in the middle of the night, she couldn't sleep with her. She goes, "Oh, I can't believe I slept with you." So she gets in the bed with him at night, and they go to sleep, right? And he's like, "How was your week?" Right? They're eating dinner, right? She goes, he goes, "Did you sleep with him?" And she's like, "Walter, no, I didn't." And meanwhile, she thinks she did, right? And she's like, "How dare you? I said that no, and that's it. Let's end this. Can we put this behind us?" And he's like, "Okay, if you said you didn't sleep with him, I trust you. I believe you. Okay." And now, meanwhile, she thinks she did, right? So that night she's sleeping. They're both sleeping. She brings the phone, puts a light on. She goes, "Walter, are you up?" And he's like, "Mm-hmm." And he's asleep, right? And she goes, "Listen, Walter, please don't get mad at me. Will you promise you won't get mad?" And he's like, "I promise." And now he's got his eyes closed, right? And she goes, "Well, apparently I had a few drinks, and apparently we kind of slept together." He's like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "Okay, we'll never talk about this again." And he's like, "No, never." She's like, "Oh, that's why I love you, Walter." Blah blah blah. And she goes on, and she kisses him, and turns off the light, and then 2 seconds later, "You whore!" The minute I leave town, he goes, "You leap into the sack with Max." She goes, "You bastard!" And then the
I
fight,
forgot about this
Oh my
movie.
God! And then the fight
I gotta see
begins.
it. I gotta
The
see
fight
the-
begins, and it's one of the funniest things
But
ever.
I'll tell you, Bob never lets me live it down.
Oh,
Bob
that
always
is-
says to me, he goes, "You cheated on me, Judy. Remember? Don't forget." I said, "Bob, and you made me wait 18 years, so don't start." I said, "I would
But
never
there's a
been with
difference
that guy."
between cheating and polyamorous. Like,
no, I know.
Yeah,
I'm not
explain
saying-
the difference.
I
Explain
just
the
meant the
difference.
respect
Yeah.
that he had for me.
Because you get the okay first.
oh
yes?
yeah, we'll review our week and be like, "So what do you have anything set up this week?" And he'll be like, "Oh, I'm seeing this girl again." and
Tiffany.
I'm not going to say her name, but like,
Is
know,
it
I'm-
always with him the same girl, or does he ever go now? Because he's poly or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
So he's got the girlfriend, but does he ever branch
Does he ever
out
want
from
the
that
cracker?
girl?
Cracker.
Which
Polly want a cracker?
Oh. I was like, oh, I don't know what slang that is.
Oh, does he ever want to be with a man?
No, she
No.
means Polly.
Like Polly
she's
wanna
just making
crack
a
it.
joke.
That's
about
She
it.
made a
explained
joke.
It was it was
that
just
went
a
over my head.
Me too. Well, obviously.
Gary.
But yeah, he branches out. Like every so often, he'll like
Now, does
try
she
to
get
date-
mad?
what the girl?
Yeah, does she get
No.
mad that he? Because she's
No,
been
like,
with him for
I've-
2 years.
She's
Well,
Polly too, right?
Yeah,
how
she's
long have you
Polly
been with
too.
him?
Oh, is there a Polly
husband?
website?
Yeah.
I
11
guess
years.
so.
And how long you been doing this?
3.
Okay, is there a
I'm going to
Polly
be calling
website?
you next year because me and Bob are going to do this.
All right, all right.
You are? Oh.
All right, is there a Poly website that people can go to?
I mean, not specifically, but like OkCupid has like a label for like ethically non-monogamous or polyamorous or queer or whatever you identify as, and you can put it in your profile. I put it in every paragraph of it because I don't know how far guys read. They probably don't read the profile at all, but I'm like, I'm married. Like, if that's cool with you, like, then let's do
Well, wait a
this.
minute.
Everything's
Wasn't
on
there,
the table.
Wait,
Everything's out
what
in the
was that website called that got
Ashley
busted?
Madison.
Ashley Madison.
Ashley Madison. They got busted because all their information leaked
Yeah.
out, and the spouses found out.
Yeah.
But that's
Good for
different,
them.
Ashley Madison, because they
That's
were
cheating.
sneaking. That's
Right,
cheating.
right.
That's not this.
This is an
Yeah.
open, very
This
like,
is like
sure.
everyone knows what's going on. Like my
Arrangement.
husband's looked at my profile on OkCupid. I've looked at his. Like we've
Oh,
I think
okay.
linked.
Cupid is like a poly.
Yeah, so it's
urethane.
not specifically poly, but
Let
they
me say
do
this.
have.
I respect this very much, but I couldn't do
Yeah,
it. Do you know
which
what I
is-
mean?
Yeah, yeah,
I understand what
I'm
you're
the same way.
saying.
I'm too jealous, but
Me
but
too. I'm
I
too
always
jealous.
think people should do like whatever makes them happy. You
Right.
know, like
Right.
I just feel like if you know,
Like
if-
this guy that came to a go-go bar, and he said to me, and I asked him, why are you here? You know, nice-looking man. He goes, well, my wife got killed or died a few years, and the doctor said, why don't you go out? Why don't you go to a go-go bar, sit with some women, because he couldn't go out. So everyone has different fears and pains.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
so that took me out of the element of the shame and going, oh, these girls are horrible in this go-go bar. And the ones that did the prostitution, the only thing I had against them was this wasn't a place to do that.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to be a prostitute, go somewhere and do
Yeah.
like, if
Live
you're
your
gonna
best
do
life, but,
what
like,
you're going to do the poly, whatever.
as long as everyone's consensual, like it's great.
yeah, yeah.
And they should leave women alone and stop, you know, labeling
Right.
them for being, you know, doing things that was the big thing that guy got over was being a slut. I felt like a beautiful woman now. I was in like a degrading club and I felt like a gorgeous woman.
Yeah.
And
Wait a
I
minute.
never
So when
knew
you
that.
were stripping, that made you feel pretty?
I felt gorgeous.
And
after I got
powerful,
past-
right?
Not even
Absolutely.
the power. I felt it as one with men. I didn't feel like afraid of them anymore. I didn't feel like they could hurt me.
Well, you know what movie really did it for the strippers?
Wait,
She has
is it
references. Carrie's good reference.
No. The movie in the 80s was Flashdance.
Oh
And
my God, I
they
love Flashdance.
glorified strippers. They made them like.
Well, that's how I got into it.
Shit, what's that movie
My
with
girlfriend-
Elizabeth Berkley?
Oh, Showgirls.
Showgirls.
Yeah.
Showgirls.
That was horrible. That
the
was
worst
so good.
movie ever.
Berkeley,
So
Berkeley,
good.
whatever
So
her name
bad,
was.
it's good.
But my girlfriend, I was actually teaching aerobics, and that's when I was doing massage work. And she said to me, "Can you cover for me, Judy? I'm gonna make some extra cash." I said, "Where are you going?" She goes, "Jersey." I said, "Can you hire me for an instructor?" She goes, "No, I'm a go-go dancer. I go-go dancing." I'm thinking of go-go boots with white go-go boots in a cage. And she goes, "No, it's like flash dance." She goes, "You get on," and so that's what I thought I was going to when I
right.
first did it.
That woman was a real dancer. Like,
Yeah,
like-
and I was a real dancer. This is the guys.
Yeah,
When
she
I would go
was a
on
real
stage,
dancer. That's the thing.
Oh, you
so that's
had
why
a
I'm
dancing
showing
background.
you this. thing
She used
from-
to open for what's his name?
This is
Don
Frank
Rickles.
Fontaine. Do you remember?
Where are we showing this?
Do you remember Frank Fontaine?
Back a little,
Crazy
back a
Guggenheim.
little, back
Crazy
a little.
Guggenheim.
Which you're the one over here on the left.
It's a little too close.
Is it too close?
Do you remember Frank Fontaine? Crazy Guggenheim. Hey Joe, you want to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
a Jack?
yeah.
That's him.
What do you mean that's
I was
him?
opening for him. I
my
opened for Don Rickles. I opened for Johnny Cash.
Okay,
This is
whose lap are you on? That's kind of
Frank
creepy.
Fontaine.
That's why are you sitting on his lap?
We're
though?
in the
Because
back of the
they're-
show.
he's
We're
a
upstate.
pedophile.
And I'm doing a lap dance at 14.
Okay, so this is.
I don't like that. If I were
That's
your
me in the
mother,
middle.
I'd go get off that old fucking guy's
you're
lap.
really
Look,
pretty.
that's me when I was the same age. That was
14.
The,
She
for
was
Johnny
a dancer.
Cash.
She was an amazing dancer.
I was
For
a
Johnny
dancer.
Cash?
Yeah, I was a professional
Well, she
dancer.
can't even tell.
That's me. I'm the third one from the left. That's why Don Rickles let us come back and meet him.
And she is wearing white go-go boots here. That's
because
so
we were
funny.
on K. Gary.
Well, that was the 60s.
This was the stage. That was the stage.
Oh my God! Are you?
Oh my God.
Are you wearing that can-can
yeah.
outfit?
Third from the left.
They can't see.
I was 15
from
then.
the left. Third from the left.
Anyway, so that's what the show's about. How my family helped me down. I remember coming home, my father was like, "Get in the kitchen, go make some sauce and burn in the sauce." I said, "Dad, I just opened for Johnny Cash." I said,
I don't make sauce.
At 14?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So she wanted to be a dancer. The parents
And a comedian and
stifled
actress.
her.
My family wouldn't let me do it. And that's what the show's about.
What's wrong? Because they're Italian.
Yeah.
Italians don't want
They
their
don't wanna hear-
women
come
to
on,
be. They want you to get
don't
married and
forget.
have kids and make lasagna.
Yeah, make it go make a good lasagna. I said, I just opened for Don Rickles. I have a career, Dad.
You want
Which
to be a
one are you?
star.
Right here. There's Angela, the little one, Gail, and there's Judy.
That's so cool.
Oh my
What was
God.
Johnny Cash
Can you
like?
see it?
Can you see it to me?
What was Johnny Cash like?
You know, I wasn't interested. It was Johnny Cash when my dancing teacher.
I
called
love
me.
Johnny
She
Cash.
said,
I love
"Judy,
Johnny Cash."
We're opening for Johnny Cash. I'm like Johnny Cash. I'm like, what about the Turtles? What about the Beatles? You know, the Rolling Stones,
Johnny Cash, what a legend.
So I'm in
I
the
love him.
back. 'cause
Love all
I,
his songs.
I was in the wings watching Don Rickles and Frank Fontaine because I wanted to be a comedian.
Even back then, at 14, you wanted to be a comedian?
because I was a class clown. I knew I was going to do something with comedy, but I wasn't sure what I was going to do. So I remember being in the field of behind the stage, this big stage. It was a big, it was a state fair, so the amusement park. I'm standing there like this, going, "Oh my God," because the fans were running the stage for Johnny Cash. And I went, "This is a popular guy." It was Johnny, but I'm
You
a
didn't
kid.
know.
I was
And plus,
interested.
you're East Coast. You weren't into the country music
At that
and-
time, no,
Right?
no.
No.
Wow.
But
Can you put the air back on? I'm sweating to
Yeah.
death. Or it's not.
It's messing
Oh,
up
forget
the
it. Then
sound.
leave it off. Leave it off.
Sweat it out.
I'll sweat it out.
I'm gonna take it off now.
Can I just say one thing?
Huh?
I want to say one thing.
Come on,
Say whatever you want.
Your hair looks amazing.
It really does.
It really does.
Thank you. You know,
I'm gonna go blonde.
I have been trying to get the low lights. Carrie wanted me to get low lights, and Marla Schultz
Marla
Schultz
still black hair.
talked to me for an hour. She goes, "You need low lights. You need low lights. Go to my guy." I go,
Did you go to her guy?
No, I'm not driving to Manhattan. I'm like 2.5 hours away. I'm not going to pay $40 for parking. And
then
so I found a
$600
girl.
Low lights.
I found a girl, but I don't know. I sort of missed the blonde platinum hair.
You don't have to. Here's
can
what
always
you have
go
to
back.
do. You could always throw in
I
a
actually
couple
love it.
around
I
your
love
face.
the way it looks.
Yeah, I think I
highlights.
need a little light right here.
Just that's it around your
Thank you.
face.
All right, thank you.
Right, enough complimenting you.
Yes, that is it. I want to see if we have any comments.
Do we?
So, do we have
You
comments?
sluts.
Pete Rodriguez, no comment.
You
It's just
who?
show us your
Frowny
tits.
faces.
Wait, I'm trying to find Carrie's. Wait a minute. There's you.
I have to tell you though.
Let's see if we
when
got
I
any.
started doing the go-go, it gave me courage
One comment,
to do my
that's it?
stand-up. I actually, when I
Oh,
got on
good
stage,
choice.
when I did my stand-up, men didn't intimidate me anymore. I got over that.
Oh, here, you gotta, sorry.
Oh,
Lower the
turn the
volume.
sound
This
down.
goes on every week, Patty.
What? Wait a minute.
Patty,
Okay.
don't you have your technical shit down yet?
Carrie owned that stage on Saturday. Bravo.
That's great.
That's nice.
Thank you.
Nothing about us being whores.
I can't believe she was the first girl after, like we said, it's not a shock to us, but how sad, and nothing's really changed. I look at the comedy clubs, every comedy club I look at across the country, all guys. I'm headlining in Seattle, in Washington. I'm going to Oregon. Every time I look at all the lists of shows, men.
Well, men are funnier.
Jeff Norris, Carrie, awesome working with you.
I know she's joking.
Oh, thanks, Jeff.
Annie Prestano.
Jeff ripped it up.
Annie Prasano.
Oh, she's saying hello to you, Judy.
Hi,
Okay.
Annie.
Rob Keys. Rob Keys says, "I want to strip."
Oh,
tell
you
him
should
come on
do
in.
it. You should do
Does
it.
he have a
Hey,
big,
you know, it's
there's a
different when
big-
you see a man
big
stripping.
cock.
It's not the same.
Yo.
When I see a guy,
Why is that?
You know,
Because they're
it's
not
just very
graceful.
gay
We're
to
not
me.
primal. We're not driven by sight.
But
We're
it's not.
driven.
It's
Doesn't
not.
turn me
It
on
seems
either.
gay to me. I had a boyfriend once.
Doesn't
Not a
turn me on.
boyfriend. I had a date with a guy. He was fucking gorgeous. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this guy's going out with me. You know, when you're a kid, right? You don't realize how hot you are. So the guy comes to my house and I'm ready, right? And
Why you touch your tits when you
no,
go
I'm
in
saying
there?
I'm ready
Oh,
to go
you're
out.
ready.
I'm all. He goes, hold on, can you wait 1 second? And I go, sure. He goes, sit on the couch, and I sit on my couch, and he goes, I'll be right back. Back then they had boom boxes.
Yes.
Remember the boom
I
box?
do. Are you kidding?
Okay. He gets the boombox from his car, comes running into the house, and he puts the boombox on, and the music starts playing, and he starts stripping.
No.
Now,
Too soon. Too soon.
I'm like, is this fucking guy for real? And then he licks his finger.
Nope.
Ew.
Nope.
Yeah, like there's some things that turn me
Absolutely
off
not.
too. That is not
And
something
I just threw
Can
up
you
in my
leave?
mouth.
That
And this is
see here.
completely disgusting.
Here's the problem. Men,
And I couldn't go out with him after that.
yeah, that's it's
I
over.
couldn't even make
You
out
can't
with him.
unsee that.
Men think that what they like, that you're going to like what they like. So
And
when
they-
they want to see your vagina, they would love a picture of your vagina.
Oh, my
so
God,
they
it's
send
so
a picture
dumb.
of their dick, and you're like, ew.
I hate it.
I don't
dumb.
want to see a picture
So
of
dumb.
your dick.
It's the ugliest
because
thing I've ever seen.
I only like a dick when it's attached to a man that
Yeah.
I'm crazy
But
about.
this is the new
I don't
generation.
even like looking at them when they're attached.
Yeah.
all my
so
friends,
ugly.
wait, all my friends that
Sorry,
are
guys.
single.
It's not something I like doing, but you know.
Wait,
you have
all
to
my friends that
take
are
care of your
single,
husband.
listen to this. All my friends that are single that are on dating websites, they meet a guy, they start texting. By the third text, they get a dick pic.
Yep.
I don't.
That's
right.
crazy. It's what's going
Yep.
on
By the
today.
third
Got a lot of
text,
those.
Now, when
you men are sick and twisted.
Put
Not
it
all of
away.
you. Not all of you. They're not. But a
it
lot.
away.
I
A
don't
lot
think
of you.
my husband would never send a dick pic. He would never do that.
If he was a younger man today, that's
I
what they
don't
do
think he
today.
No, my
would.
husband wouldn't either.
I
Because you
don't
know
think
what?
he
Bob
would.
came. Let me tell you, Bob came
Kevin
to a
wouldn't
strip
either.
club
That's
one
why I
time.
like
This
him.
is Bob. I said, Bob, come meet me at the strip club before we go to the comedy store. So this is Bob. He walks into the club. He can't look at me. I can't take any. I can't.
Why?
Even, because we're so embarrassed. We're very shy people. We get together and we're very intimate.
You're
but
awkward
we're
with each
very
other.
shy. When he got here, he's like, "All right, Judy, hurry up, get off the stage."
Yeah, it's a different. It's a
Get
different.
down from
I said,
there.
"All right, I'm coming off the stage very soon." But let's go back to something now. As a comedian,
Yes.
men found out that I was doing the stripping and used it against me.
The other comics.
Oh yeah, the comedy store. They were saying things. She's a stripper. She's a slut.
right.
and-
Back then, that's how they saw
Oh
women
my
like
God!
that.
But they were cock blocking me, and Mitzi Shore really didn't care. She really saw great with me. She put me on shows with Joe Rogan, with Dice. Me and Dice Clay had a big fight because he wouldn't bring me on stage one night
because of the stripping?
Well, I don't know if it was because
That's
of that, but
surprising.
Missy Shore got sick and was not around anymore, so people, everybody was running the show.
You didn't have your
So
protection.
he's on stage, and they go, and they used to do the tag team. They go, "Who's next?" And Dice Clay and Dice, and they go, "Judy Cianciotto." He goes, "I'm not bringing some bitch up here."
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God!
Wait,
He
Andrew
brought him-
Dice
Somebody
Clay said
brought
this?
him up.
Wouldn't bring me up. So he goes like this. He goes, "I'm bringing the other guy up. I'm bring up the other guy, the first
you
guy."
serious?
He brought
Fuck.
the first guy, Dooley, Rusty Dooley, a beautiful man, very funny guy.
to bring you up.
Rusty Dooley goes, "Judy, I'm so sorry," and he gets on
Oh, my
stage,
God.
and then he brings me up. So I get
Oh,
on
you know
stage.
what?
But that
Sexist.
could have been part of his douchebag.
But that was
character.
his douchebag. But I found out. So I had the microphone. I said, "This motherfucker." I said, I waited 2 hours to get on stage. So I have the microphone. I said to the audience, I said, "Isn't it sad that Andrew Dice Clay couldn't bring up Judy Cianciotto?" I said, "You know why? Because all he did was talk about vagina and pussy." I said, "And he knows I'm Italian, and my pussy is so wet. And when he gets next to me, he trembles." I said, "And he didn't want you to see his hand transfer the microphone over to mine. He didn't want you to see." I said, I screamed. I said, "Dice Clay, let me show you what you'll never fucking have." And I laid down and I opened my legs. And of course, I kicked that. You know what I mean? I did stock shit because Dice Clay comes in and goes, "What the fuck is God?" I said, "Fuck you, Dice. You couldn't bring me up." I said, "You're such a woman, a hater, and a fucking piece of shit."
And is the audience with you?
Yeah. Oh, the audience is great.
But you working in the comedy store,
Well,
you must have worked with a lot
Andrew
of.
Dice Clay went like this. He goes, "Are you a guy?" I said, I think right now I am." I said, "Let's come up here and we'll compare balls. I think mine are bigger than yours right now." And then I said, "Let's hear for Dice." But after that,
He was nice to you.
no, I was like a little celebrity.
Oh, really?
Maj Jabrani, Ahmed, Sebastian, everybody loved. We were all close. We were a great crowd. But he hated me. He even told this guy,
That's
Don
terrible.
Barris, "Don't go near her. Fucking, she's like a black widow. She'll kill you." So they kicked me out of the comedy store because I complained. And this had
Who'd you
Mitzi,
complain about?
Mitzi Shore had nothing to do with it. Mitzi
Oh,
actually.
because he was too powerful. You complained
Mitzi-
about him.
Yeah.
He
Hold
was
on, though.
powerful.
Didn't somebody sexually harass you there?
Yes, this guy sexually assaulted me.
Who?
And Mitzi banned him, but then he went up to Mitzi Shore and said, "No, Judy is in the back fucking the bus boys." And
Were you?
Even if you were, so fucking what?
not only the
Yeah,
one
why
guy.
can't you fuck a busboy
I wouldn't
if
want
you
to
want?
fuck. Well, I wouldn't even fuck a comedian. I kissed a lot of comedians, never fucked them. But what happened was he called my husband and said the same thing, and my husband said, "Get the fuck out of here." We just got married, Bob, and Bob had to hear me that I had sex with a guy. This guy Don's calling him saying, because Mitzi banned him. And
Who's the guy? Who's the guy who assaulted you?
Don Barris.
No, who's Don Barris?
You know Don. Everybody knows Don.
Who is Don Barris?
Do you know him?
Who is he?
He opens Jimmy Kimmel. I really am. I'm saying things.
John, fucking
No,
say
no,
it.
no, no.
Fuck these
Shame him.
assholes.
This is the era of like.
And let me tell you something.
calling it
Let me
out.
tell you something. At the
David
comedy
Chaffee is like name names.
because of Don Barris, who I took him to court.
You did.
I took him
yeah,
to
you
court, but
did.
I canceled it because I
Why?
dismissed it. My parents died. My mother died. Then my father got sick. I had to go home. I said, I can't. I got to go home. My parents are sick and they're dying. I said, and Don, you know you fucked up. I'm dismissing it. I said, but you don't put your hands. And one of the managers said to me, Judy, you took a stand. I have to tell you, Don has not been abusive to anybody since you've done that.
That you know, that they know
But
of.
no, but it's getting worse. It's starting all over again. But that's a whole other thing.
What do you mean
But
it's starting all over?
So you had the balls. You acted when it happened. I don't like women that wait till like 20 years later when everybody else now they want
let
to
me
jump
tell
on
you.
a bandwagon.
I
Just back up
disagree
a
with
second
that.
before we go
I'm
there.
going to say.
Let's back up a
You're
second.
like, nah.
When I went back to the Comedy Store and Mitzi Shore, I was back on stage. I was doing my thing. Don would come in and go, you took me to fucking court, you motherfucker. And I'm on stage. I go, Don, you have a pink penis. I can't deal with pink penises. I mean, you had to keep it funny.
Yeah.
But then
Did he have a pink penis?
Yeah, it was. He would pull it out, then he'd grope me, shove me against the wall, grope me one time. Get away from me.
you shitting me? It's
No,
so
it was terrible.
sad. It's
yeah,
so
because they were
fucking
blocking
sad.
me. I had great opportunities there. Judd Apatow came and talked to me one time. I had opportunities. I got a manager there.
So you
People-
got kicked out of there because you complained about that guy assaulting you.
Right. Well, no. Well, this
Yeah.
is years later. I'm back there, but Don's mad that I'm back, so he's got people fucking with me. 3 other comics now are fighting with me. I'm on stage. One guy said, "You old fucking cunt." I'm on stage, and I looked at the audience.
Are you shitting
I
me?
said to the audience, I said, "Did you hear what he just called me?" I said, "An old fucking cunt." I said, "I don't mind the cunt. It's the old." I said, "My vagina is gregarious. My vagina is youthful." And I had them. So I went to management and I said to management, I said, "Listen, these guys are fucking with me because of Don." I said, and then Don Barris, because I said, "You motherfucker." I said, "You have fucked with me long enough." He had me on his podcast. You can go to his podcast, show 3. I'm on it. He apologized to me and my husband for what he did.
Wait, why would you go on his podcast?
That's what Bob said. Bob said,
I wouldn't
"Don't
have
do it."
gone.
Bob
Don't.
said, "Don't do it," but I did it.
That's always the problem. After you do something like that, and then you do something, they always go, once someone assaults you, a lot of times women are friends with the person or go back. But here's what I want to say to you about the thing you don't like when 20 years later they say something. Sometimes you're processing what the fuck happened to you. And sometimes, and it's terrifying, and also you bury things, and sometimes it takes 20 years to come out. When you look at all those guys who were sexually abused by priests, it's 20
Okay,
years.
I understand that.
Okay.
When you're
And
a
I
child.
appreciate what you're
I
saying.
understand that when you're a child. But let's cut to the Harvey Weinstein bullshit, okay? That guy was a fucking freak, right?
Yeah.
He did a lot of fucked up shit to
Yeah.
women. And these women knew exactly what they were doing when they were going in there for the
No,
fucking...
they didn't.
Oh,
No.
Patty, stop
No,
it.
they didn't. You're absolutely wrong.
When
Because-
and even if they did, don't tell me that in L.A. you're dressing up to get the part,
Oh, you're so
to
wrong.
hoochie it up, to get on TV.
No.
They are
Okay,
so
Carrie,
desperate to be
Carrie,
actresses
No,
that they're
not to-
willing to do anything.
No,
I'm
that-
not saying not all of them. I'm not saying all
No,
of them.
well, all these girls that Harvey Weinstein did this to, these were young girls. One of them was 17.
Why'd they
one
go
was
back
19.
to his house? Why'd they go back to his
Because
thing?
It's
he tells them
career.
that he's going to meet them at the
It's a
restaurant,
make it
and
or
then they
break
go.
it.
And let me say one other thing. Okay, you really don't, and I'm not being like stupid or just saying that. I don't totally disagree with you. But when we went, remember we were at Montreal years ago, in 2000, I think it was, and someone was working with me, and he said, "Judy, come up to my room, because I want to show you some stuff."
Right.
And he said to me, he goes, "How can I get affection?" I said,
No.
How can you get affection?
"How can I get affection from you?" I said, "I can't do
And you
this."
were in his room.
Yeah, I said, "I gotta go." I said, I thought we were gonna talk about because I was trusted. And that's why I'm saying I know what she's saying. Not all the time.
You're not thinking that this old, fat,
Right.
fucking, ugly, Jabba the Hutt motherfucker is
It's gonna
trying
want
to
me
have
to suck
sex
his
with
dick.
a
I agree
beautiful
with you.
17-year-old
I agree
girl.
But you're
with
saying
you.
wait so long
But-
to bring it
but
out.
hold on, forget about that. I agree with you on that. I agree these men are gross. But I do also believe that some of these girls have that in them where they want to get where they want to go.
Yeah. Some women do fuck to
And
get to the
then-
top.
and
That's
then-
true.
Yeah, well, yeah,
So-
but I think there's
You know, Madonna slept
Okay.
with everybody.
okay, but that's
Correct?
That yeah,
Probably.
but that's different than girls who feel like they have to.
In
He's
behalf-
like
have
a
to
dog.
do
He's
it.
I have
like
to
a
say,
dog
in
jerking
behalf
off
of
in front of them.
Madonna, she was very young also, and she was creative. She had a song out, and she was at the clubs. Maybe she was fucking the guy, but she wasn't fucking everybody to get to the top. She was working her ass off. She was
She only
in the,
fucked the right guys.
That's right, and that's what I should have fucked Rick Messina. My husband said, "Judy, I'll drive you. I'll wait in the car, in the driveway. Go fuck Rick Messina." I've been to his house.
I just think that the young girls of today, they should know better than to go
They
in
don't
there.
know better, but but you weren't on the podcast
Wait a
the
minute,
day.
your daughter now would go into someone's like.
I actually had a conversation with my daughter. I said, "You know the story." I said, "You know the thing that happened to me with the Dustin Hoffman thing. You weren't here the day that I talked, but where I thought that I was going to be in the movie with Dustin Hoffman because this guy told me, and he had given me sides, and I went. He was picking me up with Dustin Hoffman. Okay, I already told this, so I'm going to just do a
Wait,
truncated
and
version.
Dustin Hoffman was in the car?
Well, guess what? He wasn't there, but he's going to meet us at the
Shocker.
restaurant. He's going to
Oh,
meet us
yeah.
at the
So he was
restaurant.
just using this as a
and he
ploy.
wasn't at the restaurant,
Right, okay.
but now he's going to meet us up at the guy's apartment. I am 26 years old. You would say old enough to know better, but I didn't.
But he's setting
And
you up. That's a
thought,
setup.
I thought Dustin Hoffman is coming to his apartment, and then he's like, okay, so we're going to do the scene, and it's a naked scene, and you got to go take your clothes off. And I go, I'm not going to take my. Okay, then, and then they go, okay, just put the t-shirt on and just don't have a bra and underpants on. And I'm in there, and I'm going, oh my god, what's going on? And then I'm coming out there, and I'm thinking, well, Dustin Hoffman's going to show. Dustin Hoffman's coming any minute.
I can't believe how dumb.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. I'm 26
But we're all
and
dumb
I'm not
at certain
fucking
level.
stupid. I literally thought until that guy put his hand on my ass and he was a
listen
big,
to
huge
my
guy, and I thought he
ahs.
was going to fucking rape me and kill me. I had no.
And you know what? You're
I-
in a very bad situation. And it could have
in
done
his
anything.
apartment, but I thought Dustin Hoffman was coming. Okay, so I had a conversation with my daughter. I said, never ever to meet someone at a place that isn't like, like she goes, oh, I went up for this job. And I go, you going to somebody's house or what are you doing? She goes, no, I know him and I know the other person and blah, blah, blah. Hey, Richie, how you doing?
Hi,
And-
Rich. Hi.
And he knows all the other people. And so I said, you would never do that, would you? And she said, she goes, Mom, I'm not stupid. But that's
But
it.
she's,
stupid.
she's got a lot
But
more
she-
information now because of social media, seeing what people go
Right,
through.
well, you
know.
have to tell your child, you have to teach your child this. I mean, I don't know. I
It's the
kind of
setup
always
that
felt
pisses me off because men know there are some women that will. So it's just like
there are some women that will, and
that
there's
will
some
and they
dumb
know
women.
It. So like when I was at the Improv one night,
Not
and a guy
dumb,
says
naive,
to me,
naive.
he said, and again, Jimmy Kimmel, who's a really nice guy. I met his family. I'm friends with some of his family members. They open. If Jimmy really knew what went on, you know what I mean?
You
He
should
may-
write him a
No,
letter.
I think-
But
What do you
let me
think,
just share
Fox?
this with you.
Oh, okay.
His booking agent. This was his first booking agent. He's not anymore. But I even had to deal with his booking agent at the Improv. I said, "Oh my God, I work at the Comedy Store." He says, "Come out to my car. I'll give you my card." Go out to his car to get the card. Can you show me your tits? No. I'm like,
Oh my God.
I said,
There's
"Are
something
you
wrong
Like, I
with
think-
men.
I'm
Yes,
saying,
so-
but
the
I'm
focus
saying to you,
shouldn't be
Jimmy
on-
Kimmel knew this was going on, and this is why maybe this guy was not working for him anymore. But for some reason, he's very close to Don Barris, and has everybody's protected Don Barris after what he's done. And even now, in this past 3 years, trying to stay at the Comedy Store, they've made up lies to get me out. I parked in the parking lot. Robin Williams Memorial. They said, "Judy, you parked in the parking lot, and you were." I said, "I wasn't there." I said, "What are you talking?" I came in at 12 o'clock at night. They found something to say, "Get out."
What's so great about Don Barris? Does he have some kind of
He has
power?
a show. He has a show, a ding dong show that he does.
Ding dong.
And he actually can be. He's like a crazy, loud, big fucking mouth. And what's really sad is that we could have done great things. We did do before he actually, attacked me. And assaulted me. We had fun on stage. He'd be annoying. I'd be stop heckling me. I said, but he'd come on. We'd banter.
People have like a dark
But
side.
then the dark side came out when he knew my vulnerability. When I told
That's
him,
what they're like predators. They
Yeah.
know, they see when it's Fox. You have anything
They're
like that
so
happen
sick
to
and
you
mean.
where you?
So, like, at least once or twice a week.
Yeah, I know, that's the thing.
People like, so I've started, and it's the best. I highly recommend doing this.
What's that? Oh my God.
So, cat callers in the summer, they're awful and terrible, and I've started chasing them. And so, like, one guy, I was on the phone.
Cat callers?
I was on the phone with my husband, and this guy, like, is walking next to me, and I'm like, oh, he's got the same cadence, whatever. And he goes, hey, miss. And I'm like, I'm on the phone. Go back to the phone, and he's like, can I give you my card? And I was like, I'm on the fucking phone. What are you doing? And he goes, fuck you. And I was like, fuck me? Oh, no. And I was like, hold on. And I put the phone down, and he's like, what's going on? And I was like, fuck me? No, fuck you. Fuck you. And, like, he's like, leave me alone. And I was like, oh, you don't like people following you and talking to you?
Yeah, but see, that's cute and funny until he pulls out a gun and blows your fucking head off, because that's
You have
the
to be
world
really
we're
careful.
living
You
in.
don't know
A
what
lot
you're
of these
dealing with.
guys, though.
Or grabs your head and bashes it
No,
into
but
the
a
wall.
lot of
these
That's
guys-
what you got to be careful
Yeah.
of.
Well, but a lot of these guys are like bullies until
Yes.
you bully back,
Yeah.
and then
Well,
they're like,
it's like-
oh, and then they step
Well, it's
back.
like this
Right.
guy Don. People said to me, Judy, why don't you kick him in the balls? I said, the guy's 300 pounds. Once he knocked me against the wall and went like this, I said, I don't know what he can do. I don't know what he's capable of. And I couldn't grab his balls at the same
mean,
time.
really, it's
he
just-
shoved me against the wall.
That's terrible.
But the sad thing is, like you said, he finds pockets of places to abuse people, but then he knows how to act. He's
Yeah.
opening for Jimmy Kimmel. He knows people
Yeah.
are mad on some level because they know what he's done behind the scenes and his abusive lifestyle.
Yeah.
But then he gets
But
in
you,
with the
you
people
stopped
that
him in his tracks, though, because once
I
you
stopped
put
him,
that
but look what it's
lawsuit
done
on
for
him-
me. I got kicked out of the comedy
Yeah,
store. They're
see,
making up
you
lies
pay
about
for
me.
it. I wish I could tell my story.
And Jimmy Kimmel's family, who are very close working with him, are like, "Oh, Judy, don't." I mean, nice people, but one of the sisters is like, or cousins is like, Judy, I work with him. They didn't like that. that I'm upset with him, but almost like an uncle who gets drunk and grabs,
Yeah.
you know, like you got to. That's why I did the show, to forgive him, to go, okay, Judy, move through it, even though my husband said don't do it.
Yeah.
That's why I did it. I thought it like one of the cousins
And did
said,
he
Yeah,
out
I
loud
would never
say, I'm
let-
sorry for doing it? Did he
Yes.
out loud say it?
Yes, he did. And Ari Shafir was on the show before us, and Ari says, why are you having Judy Cianciotto on? Didn't she say she sexually assaulted you and she ruined your next your next show? All the fans hate her because she took you to court. And he goes, she said you sexually assaulted her. And Don went, maybe I did.
Maybe.
Yeah, he was still, when he clinging
Yeah,
to.
they don't want
like-
to.
I remember, so like back in a previous career life, I was a therapist.
I love
And-
this story. You were first a stripper, then a therapist.
Yes.
Which
And
you
now a
still are, can be.
bartender?
Bartender, nanny.
You're certified, though. You have a
Yeah.
license for counseling.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got my master's and everything.
Wow.
And, it's like, I was a adolescent therapist. So like, they thought I was the cool kid and I was like, I fooled you. But, like with a lot of the males that I saw, like, and occasionally they talk about women or dating or fucking or whatever. And I'd be like, I know this is your session and you're going to say things the way you say things. I'm just pointing out as a woman, like, that's not cool. Like what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like I tried to shift the dialogue from like,
Be a gentleman.
yeah, don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
treat someone like a human being.
Well, you know what? When Don did that, when he said he was sorry, the sad thing is 3 years later, and I had a conversation with him. I actually met him in the street, and my husband, Bob, was with me. Bob said, I don't want to go near him. He goes, I'll wind up in jail, because he was so pissed off because he apologized, but then he didn't follow through. He didn't follow through and protect. He let the minions do the dirty work, calling me the names on stage. He let them do the dirty work, and that's how he got pushed out, because he really didn't want to apologize. But I have a feeling that maybe the camp of the Kimmel family, or people in, you know what I mean, in a way, are saying to him, do the right thing, apologize to her. But he didn't mean it, and that's what Bob meant.
Yeah.
And obviously he didn't. That's why I got kicked out.
But I think that's why the women don't come forward, Carrie, is
they're
because
so scared.
they know that they're the one who's going to go under. If you're going up against Harvey Weinstein or Bill Cosby or any of those
It
assholes,
took like
Bill
50
they're
minutes.
going down. And
Bill Cosby
Wow,
raped
that was
them,
rough.
completely
That
raped
was
them.
rough.
Well, Weinstein is raped. Four have accused him of rape. Four.
Full out rape.
Full out rape.
Okay,
Yeah.
so but Cosby raped every one of them, and
No, not everyone. Beverly Johnson got away. He didn't rape
Beverly
all of
Johnson got away.
Beverly,
Like, there was
'cause
one
I
out of the
remember that.
57.
Yeah, she
ran out.
She ran out, and she said, "I know what you're fucking doing," and blah blah blah. And some of them, they didn't know if he actually raped them or.
well, they
if
were
he,
passed out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was jizz, so he was like coming on them, or I don't know if he actually went in them.
Jizz.
But that's an awful
That's
word,
an
right?
awful word.
For an awful
And
thing.
I appreciate what you said to me, Carrie, about standing up for myself because it was really hard. And I did have a witness. Don Barris will get on stage and say, Judy had no fucking witnesses. No, I had a female witness. And I'll never forget her when I told her that I was canceling. I dismissed the court case. She went like this, Patty. She goes like this. She goes, oh, Judy. I said, listen, my mother died. My
Yeah, I know.
dad's sick. I said,
I know.
and to be honest with you, I don't like what my lawyer's doing. He's not handling it. I'm not here to bring anybody, celebrities, into the mix. I just want to make him accountable.
Yeah.
So I did that. I brought him to court for that. That's all I want to do. But I had somebody backing me. But it was scary to really stick up
It's
for
very
myself.
hard. I can't even say my story because I got paid money. And here's the thing to not tell my story. But I will tell you something that really bothers me about sexual
Oh, that's
harassment.
what they should pay me. So I don't tell anyone.
But that's
my
the thing about
story.
sexual harassment that is terrible is that they buy your silence.
Yep.
And I think that there should be a new law that you get your payout and you don't have to be silent. Because if they've done that to you, why are you silenced now? Why can't you say what happened so that it can't happen to other
And
people?
that
tell
should
you-
be
so
on your record.
They buy your yeah.
Yeah, well, let's be honest. Let's try to teach these new girls that all men are freaks.
No,
Well, you
let's
know, and
teach
now that
boys
you said that,
don't act
now
like
that you just said
assholes.
that, there's more action for me to take because them kicking me out of the Comedy Store was totally unacceptable and character defamation and has ruined 3 years. I have been invited by 3 comics to work there. The battle roast. I did the battle roast. I started it. They wouldn't let me work there. They stopped me from
See,
growing
that's what
shows.
always happens
so you
to
know
the
what?
girl
Maybe
when you
there's
speak
something
up.
still to do, and I'm saying it out loud now because
Yeah.
maybe I need to get the courage to do something like that because I want to be creative too. I don't want to go around suing people or, you
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
get
yeah.
back. You don't want to stay on track.
And we
too.
can't turn the tables. Like, we can't get a young, cute comic, take him in a room and just, like, grab his ass, slap him around. It doesn't work that
No.
It doesn't work.
Adam's available.
It doesn't
Adam's
work
very
that way.
cute.
It
Very
doesn't
cute.
work that way.
Well, we're at 10 after. Can I just tell? There's one sexual harassment story I can tell. It's not complete
Oh,
sexual
God.
harassment.
How many are there?
No, it's not even. It's really not. I don't even know if this is sexual harassment, but it was like so horrible. And I was 26, and it was my first year doing comedy. And this girl had seen me at Comedy U Grand,
Oh,
and
my
she
God,
goes,
yeah.
"I work for Fred Suss for the William Morris Agency." And I'm like, "Oh my God, Fred Suss, William Morris Agency! Oh my God, la la la!" That was like the big thing back then. Like before, it was like, well, I don't even know the big ones now, but that was the big one back in the '80s. So I'm like, she goes, "You're great. I'm gonna have Fred Suss come see you. You're gonna go on at Catch a Rising Star." And I hadn't really passed to Catch a Rising Star, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm 26 years old. My first year in comedy. I'm going on at Catch a Rising Star." And Fred Suss, the head of comedy at William Morris, is coming to see me. This is unbelievable. And it was nothing that was done to me. It was just what was said to me. So I go on stage. I do my set. I'm like a new comic. I'm not like really funny, but I'm thinking, wow, I must be if William Morris is coming. So the night before, I had seen Gilbert Gottfried on stage because I was hanging out. You always try and get on. And he was so funny to me. And I walked over to him and I said, and I introduced myself. I said, "Gilbert, my name's Beth. I think you're very funny." And he goes, "Thank you." He's like very weird
Yeah,
and
he's
shy.
very meeky.
And everybody told me all these stories about him. He was really into prostitutes and he lives with
well,
his
would
mother.
you fuck? Would a normal person
I mean,
fuck him?
exactly. He was
Exactly. That's
like
why we need
4 feet
prostitution.
tall and creepy. But I thought he was so funny. Okay, so the next night, this guy, Fred Suss, sees me. I come off stage, and the girl goes, "Go." And she's all drunk, the girl who was my agent person who was trying to get me to talk to Fred Suss. She goes, "Go over and talk to Fred Suss now." She's like all drunk. And I go, "Okay." And I go over to Fred Suss and I go, "Hi, I'm Patty." He goes, "Oh, I'm talking right now. I'm talking." And he was with Gilbert Gottfried. And I go, "Oh, sorry." He goes, "Why don't you wait until I'm not talking?" And I go, "Oh, okay, fine." So then I go over and I'm doing something else. And now it's like 11 o'clock, and now it's 12 o'clock. He hasn't come over. And he's sitting at the bar with Gilbert Gottfried, and the two of them are just talking and laughing and whatever. And it doesn't dawn on me that I should fucking leave and that the guy is never going to come over. And I had gone over again, and he goes, "Not now." He goes like this. He goes like this to bring me over. And then as I go over, he goes, "No, not now, not now." And then he and
What?
Gilbert. And so I'm like,
toying with
okay.
your
Yeah,
son.
he was like a cat with a little dead mouse, And I'm standing there and I'm like thinking, well, what do I do if I leave? I won't be signed with the William Morris agent. It's just like the other stupid story. I think I'm going to be with William Morris Agency and I'm going to go up and I'm going to be in a movie with Robin Williams and I'm going to be famous. So I'm waiting. It's like 2:00 in the morning. There's only 3 people that, like there's him and there's like
I would have fucking left.
I was an idiot. So he's standing there and he goes, Patty, come here. Gilbert has something to say to you.
So much like Patty. I know.
And I walk over and I go, oh, Gilbert, my good friend from last night has something to say to me. And he goes, hey, I want to suck your big black Jewish bush. And then he takes and then he acts like he's sucking a cock and going, Now, Fred Suss turns around and he is laughing so hard. He's slapping his hand down on the bar like it's the funniest shit he ever. And I am like, so.
That definitely counts as harassment.
That's sexual.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the head of fucking William Morris Agency comedy. And he just dicked me around for like 4.5 hours. And then that's what he said.
That's straight up misogyny.
And I just looked at the two of them. I was just fuming, and I go, hey, Gilbert, I go, why don't you go fuck your mother and get it over with? And then he just like looked at me, and then the two of them laughed even more, and I go down in the basement because I didn't know what to do. I went down in the basement. I start crying. Susie Essman comes down. She goes, what's going on? She sees me like sobbing.
What's going on down here?
Yeah, she goes, what are you doing? And I go, Gilbert just said he wanted to suck my bush, and the guy from blah, blah, blah. She goes, fuck those two idiots. She goes, fuck them and fuck him. And she goes, what are you crying for? She goes, don't you know that Gilbert Gottfried is a fucking loser and a piece of whatever she was saying. She goes, that's just Gilbert being Gilbert. You don't take it seriously. Don't take it in. And I'm like, okay, and whatever. But I just remember, so 10 years later, I see Fred, and then I swear we're leaving. 10 years later, I run into Fred Suss, and I've been fucking hating this cocksucker for so many years. And I'm at the Stand Up New York. And Fred Suss is at the bar, and he's kind of drunk. And I'm standing there waiting to go on. And he leans over and he goes, hey, Patty Rossberg. He thinks he's hot shit because he's fucking the head of Will. He goes, Patty Rossberg, I heard a lot of good things about you. He goes, there's some time I want to watch your set. And I go, it's okay, you've already seen it. And he goes, what are you talking about? I've seen your set. I haven't seen your set. I go, yeah, you did. 10 years ago you saw my set. He goes, I don't remember. I go, well, let me remind you what happened. Gilbert Gottfried said he wanted to suck my big, fat, black Jewish bush, and you laughed for 10 minutes like a drunken asshole. And he goes... And
Good
he
for
turns
you.
bright red.
Good
Like
for
his
you.
whole face turns bright red. He goes, oh. He goes, I don't remember this. Honestly, I don't remember. I go, well, I remember it, and I've been thinking about it ever since. So I don't want you to come see my... He goes, well, I would love to come see maybe now if I could do something for... I go, I don't want you to have anything to do with my career. And he goes, well, I hope you can forgive me. And I go, you know what? I will forgive you, but I will never forget what you fucking did.
Right.
And then, this
You
is
drop
the
the
best
mic.
news. And I dropped the mic, but before I drop the mic, the best news is... that like 3 months after that, he quit the business. I'm sure it wasn't because of me. He quit the business and was selling furniture in Vermont. Drop the mic!
Oh my
Drop
God!
the mic!
I would have went to Vermont, and I would have fucking had him show me every piece of fucking furniture. I would have made him write up a whole sales slip, and then I would have said, you know what? Hold that for a minute. I'll be
Now,
right
before
back.
we go, we have to think of what we're going to do to Don Barris.
You know,
Don Barris, let's take care of that
can I
fucking
tell you
let's
one thing
fuck
before we
hooks
close?
up.
Yeah.
I'll never forget this either. I just had the worst set of my life at the Improv, and one of the owner of one of the biggest commercial agents in L.A. was there. I come out.
Who?
I don't remember his name.
Okay.
One of the biggest commercial agents. And I had met him in Montreal. Rick Dorfman was trying to get him to sign me from Montreal, so he was there. So he's kind of like a little drunk, and he goes, "Hey," he comes walking over to me, and he leans in to kiss me. He leans in to kiss me, and I go to him, I go, "What? What are you doing?" And he goes, "Nothing. I'm just gonna give you a little kiss." I go, "Did you just see my set?" I go, "Are you crazy?" I go, "You can't do anything right now. Because I'm going to kill somebody."
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, the girl that's with him, his assistant, goes, "I'm signing you." She signs me to the commercial agent.
You're kidding me.
No, listen to this. I walk through the elevator. Now I'm in the lobby with the receptionist. He comes out and he goes, "Do I know you? Where do I know you from?" And I go to him.
Shit me.
"You tried to tongue me down the other night at the Improv." He goes, "Oh, I know who you are. You're the New Yorker. You're the New Yorker." And the two receptionists were like, I go, you tried to tongue me down the other night at the Improv. Remember? Oh, yeah. He goes, I know who you are. And then he goes like this to me. He goes, did we sign you? I go, yes, you did. He goes, welcome aboard. He was actually really cool for an older guy.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah, they do.
At least just trying to give you a little kiss or something.
No. He was
going in for that. He was going in.
The tongue was going in.
That's why I like the antler necklace. It keeps
I was like,
people
what?
from getting in.
But she has a great antler
But
necklace.
I
can hug you.
I was at a young age. I was the bucking. I was bucking everybody, and I was worse then. Now, if he tried to kiss me now, I'd probably kiss him. But
Well, you
back
softened
then,
up a little bit.
But back then, I was a fucking like.
See, I wish I was like that. I was so naive and stupid. It took me so long to figure shit
just
out.
sort of
think
you
it's
feel
naive and
powerless,
stupid.
and you're like, I guess I'll just go along with this.
I don't think it's just only naive and stupid. Sometimes you just want to trust people.
Yeah, but some
It's
girls
not-
know exactly what they're fucking doing. I met a
And
lot
if
of them
they
in
do
LA.
it, they do it, and you know what? They
I met a lot of them.
A lot of girls.
But then there are girls like you that I feel bad for. But the ones that know what they're doing, I don't feel bad for. And then they jump on the bandwagon. That pisses me off.
I don't know. I think it's a
because
lot
like
more
in
that
Montreal, when I went up to that room, I didn't know what was going on.
You didn't-
I
Yeah.
really
And that was
That's
the
what I said, but I said that. I said for the girls who really don't know what's
Yeah.
going on, I feel bad for them. But for the girls who know exactly what they're doing and they're working their tits and they're working the guy, and then all of a sudden, 20 years later, they jump on the real bandwagon, like the real girls that got duped.
Yeah.
Then they jump on and go, me too.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I
you're
don't
meaning
think
everybody
so,
jumping on the
bitch.
bandwagon. Saying
Right,
that
that's what I'm
yeah.
talking about.
You wonder,
I'm not,
you wonder
I'm
who's
not
telling
saying,
the truth and who is not.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, they said the sound's going in and out, but here's the thing, people. If you want to listen to the show without the sound going in and out, it's going to be up on YouTube in a few days. There will be no problems with the
When
sound.
Adam stops
it's
playing
just
with himself.
the live feed. So watch
And we
the
don't
show,
mind.
or you can listen to it on iTunes
We're gonna
or
watch.
YouTube.
We're gonna
Also,
watch
we have
Adam
a couple
Hineker.
of things.
We've
and
come
then
through a lot of stigmas.
Nancy Lombardo says if a man invites you to his room, dress appropriately, wear a taser.
Yes.
Oh,
Good night, ladies and
in
gentlemen.
your vagina.
Yes.
Oh, you let them
Oh
get
my
that far.
God. That fucking hurt. Exactly, bitch. You want to stick it in?
Jeff Norris's volume is low. Okay, but
All right,
it's
so
going to
here's
be
the
better.
thing.
Okay.
Go to iTunes,
Yes.
subscribe.
Subscribe
to
because
us,
then if we
please.
ever going
It's
to
a
make money in
wonderful
this
show.
lifetime, you have to subscribe. Oh, my last question, and then we're going to say where we're all working. To Fox, do you ever have any regrets about opening up the can of worms, the Pandora's box? Do you ever think, can you go back? You can't go
Oh,
back.
absolutely. You can go
You can say, stop seeing that girl.
Well, I can
It's over now. I don't
we
wanna
went
do this
into it.
anymore.
We went into it going. We can try it out when we don't like it anymore. If and when, we don't have to do. We're not married to that. We're married
Right.
to each other.
And do you ever fall in love with anybody else? No, you don't. So it's just like for sex. Was your sex boring? Is that why you wanted to go out?
No, it's just sort of like
Stagnant.
I love my husband,
Yeah.
but at the same time, there are certain things that I like that he just doesn't fulfill.
do.
So
Oh.
it's like he's 90% of my love, and then
Okay.
I'm there's 10% that needs to be filled, so I'm gonna go find.
I got a little
You're
more
the 10%.
percentage on that.
Well, I just have to say something real quick of that. I know you're going around, but when Bob and I were these things that I didn't like or I wanted him to
What,
do.
sexually?
Yeah, and when we're in bed together, I said, Bob, do you think you could try doing this with your arm around me this way? And
Can you bring your friend Steve over, Bob?
And he did it,
All right,
and he
it's
made
hot
fun of me so much that
Are you kidding me?
We couldn't stop laughing. We never had sex that night.
But he's a comedian too, so you know what I mean. Two comedians. Anyway, we gotta wrap this up. It's
Yes.
getting very fucking
And I'm
hot
doing
here.
a show.
Talk about Manny's in the house tonight, but he hasn't said two words because he's
good.
scared of
Well,
Patty.
Manny-
He's on his best behavior. He knows better.
Too many women here tonight, right?
All right, so where are you gonna be this?
This Friday night at the Pit Loft, my one-woman show, War Dance. It's stand-up comedy and story, a little more of what we just talked about. And then
How many shows
then
are
I
you
go back
doing?
on the
Just
road.
the one show, or are you doing a bunch
I'm
of shows?
doing one more show in December, but I don't know the date yet. But coming out and see it. It's only $7.
What day?
The November 10th at 10:30 at the Pit Loft. You coming?
What's the Pit Loft?
It's on. It's the happening play. It's an
If
awesome.
I'm not working.
People
if I'm not
developing.
working.
They go up and they do jams
God,
together.
is
Oh, the
it hot in
10th?
here?
No,
Holy
I'm
shit, it's hot in here.
Out of town.
Where are you gonna be, sweetie?
I am currently nowhere, but if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's the number 4 reasons. So dangerous 4 reasons.
I thought you were going to say if you want to fuck me on Instagram.
No!
My husband's okay with it.
Well, my comedy will be in California, but
Okay, I'm going to be at the Bolton Center in a couple of weeks, so I'm giving you.
What's the Bolton Center?
It's a theater in Islip.
Oh.
Long Island. It's called the Bolton Center in Islip, right? I think it's in Islip. So all my friends who say, "Oh, you didn't give me enough time," I'm giving you fucking 3 weeks. How about that? I gave you fucking 6 months to come to the Westbury Music Fair, and 5 of you showed up. Go fuck yourselves. But anyway, I'll be at the Bolton Center. Patty, where are you going to be?
I'm not going to be anywhere. I'm selling items at the lake house. I'm selling shit from my house at a yard sale.
Exciting.
That's what I'm doing this
Why
weekend.
are you guys so hot? I'm not hot.
Oh my God!
I'm
Because
hot.
I'm fucking old and dry and
No, you're not dry. Come on.
dry.
All right.
and-
Anyway, thank you, girls, for coming out.
You know what?
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for having us.
Sharing and
You are the most fabulous, funny ladies, and you know I've loved you all.
I had
I
had such a great time. I loved the conversation today. It was really, really fun.
It was delightful.
It was.
and your supports, but I have to tell you one thing about Carrie before we shut down.
Adam wants to get the fuck out of here. So
Carrie, I
bad.
have to tell you because a lot of people are not supportive in this business. Carrie has been one of the most supportive female comedians that I've ever been with.
Carrie's a very good egg. She
Amazing.
really is.
And
I
she
am.
used
I
to
do
talk
help
me
the
up.
women.
She would go, "Judy's so funny. You got to book
But
her."
you are.
She's
You
been
are.
great.
She came to Jaralicious. She fucking took the house down.
Really?
So are you. You guys are hysterical. You've been hysterical forever too.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad to hear. I'm so glad you're doing a one-woman show about the whole story.
I got to dim the lights really low, and
Are you stripping it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you're
but-
stripping at the
Oh,
show.
we gotta go. Let's go.
But
Wait
you're
a
gonna be
minute.
out of town.
What do you? I'm doing this. I'm doing the sale. I can't
November
be there.
what? 10th.
10:30.
Oh, wait, I'm going to be in the city that night.
10:30.
What time does the show start?
Tell me, I'll put you on the comp list.
Okay, but can my daughter come?
Yes.
Are you taping
Okay.
it? Are
Yes.
you taping it?
Yeah.
What are you wearing for the stripper outfit?
I have outfits that I get.
How
I
old
change.
are you
I
now?
definitely
Do you say
can't.
how old you are?
Of course not. Of course not. It's very discreet. The moves are sexy, but it's in shadow. It's in blue lights and red lights.
It's tasteful.
Let me tell you something. I saw her strip in a movie in your video that you had.
Oh my God!
She
I found
is
it.
So
Oh my God!
her stripping was so sexy
Because she's a fucking
and
dancer.
arching her back, and she puts her leg up and she swings around.
You
I'm
saw
like,
me do
wow,
that?
this
Really do
girl
that?
is
What's it-
really a
She's a
sexy
dancer.
stripper.
I'm a dancer.
Were you a dancer before you became a stripper? Or you just
She was a therapist.
This was one of the
She was a
guys.
therapist. I love that you're a therapist. You know, it'd be funny if someone sends their kid to you and go, then they find out, wait a minute, my kid's therapist was a stripper.
No, how about? Wait a minute, my kid's stripping now. What the fuck did you say to her?
What are you doing? Let me tell you, when I'm on stage dancing like a burlesque dancer at a strip club, this is one of the guys going.
Why?
Because I was dancing. He's like, "Come here." He goes, I'm like, "No." And I'm
What does
jumping
this
up.
mean?
So she's
He goes, "I wanna
dancing and
see."
she wanted to strip.
He wanted to see something. No, I'm doing
To see boobs.
pirouettes. I'm doing barrel roll turns.
All right,
Rolls.
everybody.
Wait, that's mine.
It was great.
It was really
And
great.
Adam,
Thank you,
Adam
girls.
Hinneker at the
Rec room. She forgets that every week.
recroomny.com. Manny, thank you. He's holding the
Manny,
cameras
you're a
for
dick.
Manny
us.
Rice,
Yeah.
wait. Can we
Sweetheart.
just tell you where Manny's going to be? He's doing a really good thing for the,
What?
Oh, the vets?
yeah, for the vets.
Oh, when?
Oh, yeah, well, I'm the director of comedy for Project Nine-Liner in Long Island.
All right, so
Wait,
where is
we
it gonna
can't
be?
hear it. You say
Where
it
are you
again.
going to be?
I'm going to be at the Mohegan Sun at 10:30 on Friday.
Mohegan
Mohegan
Sun,
Sun?
10:30
I'll be
Friday.
at the Nassau Coliseum on Saturday.
Nassau Coliseum
That's for the
Saturday.
VA, for the veterans?
Yeah, for the veterans. It's a great cause. Go. And it's a beer fest at Nassau Coliseum this
We did the Mohegan
Saturday.
together. It was great.
Anyway, all right. Thank you very much for listening, and thank you, Patty,
And
for
thank you,
driving
Patty.
5 hours to get to the strip.
Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you,
Have a
Carrie.
great
Love you
Thank
all.
you. Oh, really? And
Fox
Fox,
Danger.
thank you for, you don't even know us, and you come in here and you're telling us your life story and your personal
I wanna
shit.
talk to you.
And I
Yes.
love you for telling us all
Oh my
this
gosh,
stuff.
if you ever want me on this again, like I would be like, I'll be there in 5.
Excellent.
You have the best story. You have the coolest story. All right.
And you're Judy Gold's daughter, doesn't she?
You want to know something? I think she does look like Judy Gold a little bit.
she
Let's
does.
not talk
A
about her,
little
right?
bit.
When we went to see her one-woman show. Remember? We
Oh,
went-
yeah.
And she got to brush this off.
Oh, yeah. That's right. She gave us the fucking
She used
brush
to call me a
off.
cunt all the time.
Oh, she
Thank
always-
you, you cunt.
That's right.
A little fucking curl.
Oh, yeah, she did. You used to always call
The
me a cunt,
Judy's
too.
Go, Judy Show. Anyway, all right.
done?
Closing. Good night.
goodbye.